what I'm saying. And you're looking for, if you're Amy Klobuchar, does Amy Klobuchar say, if she drops out, and we're just playing out a hypothetical, obviously, who does she go to? Does she go to, we know not Pete Buttigieg, no love lost, but does she talk about Joe Biden? Does she think about Joe Biden? I think she would do that over Mike Bloomberg any day of the week. But we don't know yet, and we don't know whether this would even happen, whether it's feasible, whether
it does seem a little bit like Bloomberg has become kind of a straw man in this race, or people are spending a lot of time thinking about how to take Bloomberg down, and they're really.
Is that how loud my computer is? Do you hear that fan? My computer is so loud. I don't even think I'll be able to stream. That's how much this shit is heating up. Do you hear that? That sounds terrible. We might not be able to stream. That is sad. Well, yeah, my laptop is not going to be able to do this. It's like going to explode. Well, I was just testing it out. So, hello everybody. I wanted to cover the caucus, but I don't think I can. My laptop is dying. Okay, well, there's 2% in, as you could see, and Bernie is in the lead with 55.7%. It's gonna be fine. But you know, of course, Pete Buttigieg, out of nowhere, is gonna come and take first place. It's gonna happen. We're gonna see it. Yeah, I was just testing this out, but I really don't think that my laptop can do this, so that's really sad. Is it... Guys, is the fan bad? Is the fan that bad, or is it, like, doable? Can you, like, live with it? Or is it just, like, it sounds like a airplane engine? Okay, people are saying it's not that bad. Do I trust? Fan is fine. It's bearable. Fan is fine. Fan good. I can't hear anything. Fan man bad. Okay. It's doable. Okay. So I guess we'll just talk about the Nevada caucus. It is, so far, so good. It seems like things are playing out the way everything looks, because if you watch CNN, which we're about to do, you'll see, like, all the crowds are mostly for Bernie. At one place, there was nobody for Pete. Very sad. Andrew Yang is currently hosting the CNN thing, so that's exciting. So we should watch Yang. Okay.
Diluting their power. If you're an Amy Klobuchar or any of the moderates, that's what's really happening here, is that Bernie Sanders is running away.
Can you guys hear that?
Progressive support and even a little bit of moderate support, and the rest of the field is divided, and they all have just enough money to keep going. I mean, what's interesting about Klobuchar is that she doesn't need as much money as someone like Elizabeth Warren does to sustain her campaign, and so there's less of an incentive for her to drop out at this stage, even if her long-term chances are relatively low. She only needs a couple of $1 million, and then she can say, well, I can continue going. But the hard questions, the real hard questions that I think Andrew's
okay.
30% here.
I'm having deja vu all over again. Trump, well, he's got a ceiling. Trump has a low ceiling. He can only get 30%.
Right, if you combine all these other people together,
That's not how elections work. It's not how they work at all. So, Trump can get, Sanders can get 30%, and win. But more importantly, why is he able to pull this off? He's able to pull this off because he detached himself from the normal establishment way of controlling candidates.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting the money from the big folks. He's getting money
Sorry,
from
I'm
lots
just
of little
seeing the
people.
volume, how
He was
you guys
able
are
to
reacting
build
to
something
it.
that could survive a complete media blackout, and now it's very hard to stop him. And Trump did a very similar thing in that he said, look, I'm going to self-fund. I don't need you guys. And once somebody is able to survive the full onslaught from the establishment and keep going, they become very attractive, and that's how it's urgent.
And I just want to add really quickly one more thing is that Bernie's campaign has been, I think, doing the work. And I think the progressives, including Elizabeth Warren, have been too. And that is
doing the work. What do you mean the work?
I'll get into it. I think that
What do you
the work
mean,
means that they're not
the
just
work?
talking to the people that they know are going to vote. And I think that is the
Okay.
habit that the Democratic Party has
Someone's saying we
has
can't
sunken
hear?
into for the past few decades. They are
Are you
speaking to
fucking
people,
with me,
that,
or can
like
you
I
not
said
really
before,
hear?
are really, really hurting right now, that are really struggling. And instead of, dismissing that insurgency as, this weird arbitration that has come
Shut
to
the
be,
fuck up!
it is a
You're
force,
lying.
not me, us. It's one of the
Don't
few
fucking
politicians
lie.
that is running right now that is not centering their candidacy as I'm the savior, I'm going to fix things, but is actually
I
working
hate when
people,
you guys
banding
do that.
together and taking back
We
government for
can't hear
themselves.
anything, and then I
Quick
spend
break
an
here.
hour
We're
trying
keeping
to
a
fix
close watch
the
on the votes as
audio.
they come in from Nevada. We expect official results from the state Democratic Party soon. Stay with us.
Biden is actually doing pretty well. This is different than Iowa. He was just terrible. When is the big Bloomberg video coming? I made the big Bloomberg video, but I want to make one about the debate, but really this one thing that happened during the debate when they were all like, do you think the popular vote should win in an election, or do you think superdelegates should have the power of 10,000 normal citizens? And like all of them were like, well, I think we should follow the rules. Yes, the rules. We should follow the rules. We should follow the DNC rules. And then Bernie was just like, no, fuck it. So I want to kind of make a video about that, because that was ridiculous, and a lot of people don't really know what superdelegates are. Do you guys even know what superdelegates are? Do you know why they're so terrible? I just want to see in the chat. Do you guys know what a superdelegate is, or are you kind of sort of unaware? Because I only learned like a few years ago. Do you want to hear the ads? People are saying that they want to hear the ads. Okay. That's another thing. So, I haven't watched cable in probably like 5 years. And the only time I really do is during these caucus things or like these primary things. And my attention span is like dying because I forgot what it was like to sit through commercials with YouTube and everything else, and like with Netflix now there's like no commercials. You forget that you have to sit through like 10 commercials, and there's repeats too. It's just like, I forgot how terrible it was. It's like how I forgot how to write with my hand. The internet has just kind of ruined me for real life. Let us hear the ads. You guys want to hear the ads? Alright, we're gonna hear the ads.
A little less scary leaving home, and you can take a little bit of it with you.
Dish, tuned in to you.
Indeed's hiring tools, like skills tests, let a person show you their
Are you guys happy?
We also give you a groundhog to point out your perfect hire.
You got the job.
Okay, no groundhog, but try skills tests free at Indeed.com/groundhog.
When I started Cobra Kai, the lack of control over my business made me a little intense. But now QuickBooks helps me get paid, manage cash.
So, superdelegates, to put it really, really simply, they are establishment hacks whose votes count, I'm not even joking, like 10,000 times, I think 1,000 actually, 1,000 times more than a regular citizen's vote. So when people are like, the primaries were rigged against Bernie, part of that, there's like a million parts of that, but part of that was because Bernie won a lot of those states, yet when the superdelegates came in, Hillary got like all of them.
And we say,
And as we know, Bernie's not very well liked by the establishment hacks. So, what is even the point of voting if it's literally just going to be decided by, like, politicians you, or people in power that you didn't even vote for? It just doesn't, it's actually the most depressing thing.
No pressure.
It's the worst.
It's your money.
And I'll do all I can to help you get it now.
They're so relieved. So
I
happy.
love democracy.
I really love my job.
If you need your money now, call JG Wentworth at 877-CASH now. That's 877-CASH now. We're here to help.
The Windsors,
Oh my God.
inside the royal dynasty, tomorrow at 10 on CNN.
Up, here we go, guys.
We got another key race alert. Welcome back. Take a look at this. 7%. 7% of the precincts now reporting the popular vote. Bernie Sanders remains on top.
Look at
with
that.
4,229 votes. He's 2,385 ahead of Joe Biden, who's in second place right now, 1,844. Pete Buttigieg, 1,492 in third place. Elizabeth Warren in fourth place, 1,218. Amy Klobuchar in fifth place, 756. Tom Steyer, 453. Tulsi Gabbard, 7 votes. Dana, back to you.
Okay,
Well, let's check in with some of our reporters.
they keep
who are
doing this
covering
really
the
catty
candidates
thing
on the ballot.
where every
This
time
caucuses
they
in,
announce what
in
Tulsi
Nevada.
has,
Let's
because she
start
has the
with,
lowest,
MJ
every
Lee,
time they
who is
announce
with
what
the
Tulsi
Warren
has, they're
campaign,
like,
who is in
and
Seattle.
Tulsi Gabbard,
MJ, what are you hearing from your sources
2.
about how they're feeling about
and
Nevada?
Tulsi Gabbard, 7. They keep doing it every time.
Right now. Obviously, they are feeling very, very good about the very strong performance that Senator Warren had this week in Las Vegas. This came at a moment when she really needed this kind of a confidence boost because obviously she did not do as well as she wanted in Iowa. Her results in New Hampshire were very, very disappointing. And as a senior advisor told CNN, they felt like this last week showed that Elizabeth Warren is still in it. Now, the political boost that they felt like they were seeing included sort of anecdotal evidence of people saying that they wanted to give Elizabeth Warren a second look after this debate, and also in terms of fundraising. We know that they broke all kinds of fundraising records over the last week, but the big question, of course, is how much of a difference, if any, is this going to make in Nevada ultimately when we have the final results? And one thing that could actually work against Senator Warren is early voting. We have been talking about this all day, that tens of thousands of Nevadans have already voted in the state of Nevada, and the campaign is cognizant of the fact that there are just going to be some voters who cast their ballots before.
I'm just reading all your, I'm reading what
if
you
they
guys
had
are saying.
not seen the debate, may have wanted to change their votes. Obviously, that is not how early voting votes work. They cannot change their ballots. They cannot say, well,
Somebody
now that I've
said,
seen
if they don't
Elizabeth
go with
Warren's
Sanders while he's
performance in the
pulling these
debate, I
popular
can go
vote
ahead and
numbers,
change
I
my
fear
ballot. So that
more
is
than
something that is
chairs will be
certainly on their
thrown.
minds.
Honestly, there's
Also,
absolutely going to be
Elizabeth
riots
Warren,
if they
started her
steal
day
this.
in Las Vegas. She is going to finish the day here in Seattle. Washington State is
You know, if he
where they
wins,
would
I mean, if he
obviously like to
loses
do very
just
well. It is also a vote
normally,
by mail
like,
state, and the ballots
then
became
that's
available
just
yesterday.
democracy.
So
But if
clearly
they
she is
literally
trying to
steal it from him
get
again
some of
with the
early
super
momentum
delegates, there's
here that
absolutely
she
going to be
saw over the
riots.
summer last year when she
Hashtag
held an
chair
outdoor
time.
rally and had one of the largest rallies of her
And I'll just
entire
be like,
cycle. Dana.
MJ, thanks so
pretend
much.
not to see it.
Check in with Hyung Lok. Hyung, you're covering Amy Klobuchar's campaign. This is the first contest.
Is anybody
after
going
she
to
did
Milwaukee,
so
by the
well,
way? I
a strong third place finish
might
in
be.
New Hampshire, and yet she's not in Nevada. She's in her home state of Minnesota, which doesn't.
Does
vote
anybody
until
want to
Super
go to
Tuesday,
Milwaukee
March
and
3rd.
throw some chairs in Minecraft?
The senator definitely coming home here. This is her Minneapolis headquarters, and the senator is coming here as a sort of reset, according to a campaign aide I spoke with. What the senator
Oh my god,
is
a lot
hoping
of
to do
you
is come
are.
here,
Sweet,
speak with
okay.
volunteers in about an hour.
Awesome, maybe we can do like a little
and
meetup.
then begin to plant her flag, looking to Super Tuesday. This is a Super Tuesday state. Her campaign says she has early voted in person in the state after she landed here in Minneapolis, and then she's going to travel to North Dakota, a March 10th state. Regardless of how she does in Nevada, this campaign says it is determined to continue The narrative that you're hearing from
It's
this
going to be
campaign is very
insane in
different than,
Milwaukee.
what
Depending on
Joe was
how things
reporting
play
with,
out,
what we heard from
it's going
Senator
to be
Warren. They are
insane
very encouraged that
regardless.
so many people did early vote. They are looking to the rural areas. They are looking to some of those older, established moderates in Nevada. How they're going to do in Nevada, when I've talked to multiple aides, they have said it is largely unknown. They do not know how she's going to do. They are hoping that she will do well. Everything that they are looking at, it's going to come down to the margins, those numbers in the second tier. Can she move up into that second tier? Can she hold on and tell that narrative that
okay, everybody's
it is
saying
so
I'm pronouncing
muddled coming out
Nevada
of Nevada
wrong.
that she's going to move into South
Am I
Carolina,
pronouncing
continue
Nevada
there, and then
wrong?
look
How do you say it?
towards
Nevada?
Super Tuesday. So again, Dana, here for a campaign
That's
reset,
not
looking forward to
Nevada.
the future. That's very much a story that we're hearing from the Klobuchar campaign today.
Kyung, thank you so much for that. And Wolf, when a candidate in a campaign says campaign reset,
Nevada?
that's not always the biggest.
You guys
vote
are
of confidence.
lying.
But again,
That is not how you
she,
say
is somebody who did
Nevada.
much better than expected.
Never in my life.
In New Hampshire, and she does have the benefit of one of the Super
Never
Tuesday
in my
states
life. I am
being her
being
home
trolled
state.
right now.
Sometimes those campaign resets do actually
They do work.
Let's see
Nevada.
what happens there. And a lot more numbers about to come in, we're told. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Nevada.
Let's get down
I will
to
not
business. The business
be
of
bullied
road
like
trips,
this. Oh, ads. We're
adventure,
not listening to
and
the ads.
reconnecting. Modernized comfort inns and suites have been refreshed because our business is you. With the lowest price guaranteed on all Choice Hotels. When you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Okay, so
It's Velveeta shells and cheese versus the other guys. Clearly, Velveeta melts creamier.
I'm gonna read super chats towards the end. I'll read them all. Thank you very much for all of them. I see them coming in. I'm gonna read them afterwards. So
Even this season's most common flu strains. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
yeah, that's a New York accent, I guess. Nevada. I feel like that's right though.
And that's not a tissue. Protection.
Nevada is pronounced both ways. Don't let any fools tell you any different. I always get bullied for the way I say water. Cause all you freaks say water.
For a hard day isn't for everyone.
That's not
Waking up before the sun.
that's not the way you say it. People in Canada, when I go visit my fiance, and I'm like, can I have a bottle of water? They're always like very confused about what I'm asking for, so I have to be like, can I have a bottle of water? And they're like, oh yes. Yes. Water, chocolate, dog. People are like, water, chocolate, dog. Shut the fuck up. That's not real. Okay.
We're looking for contractors and licensed professionals who are interested in receiving leads from Tackle. If you operate a business in any of these
Oh cool, I see a lot of people on here I know from Twitter. Oh, I should do an announcement that I'm live on Twitter, right? Or no, I should just keep it. This is comfy, I like this. I feel like if I tell Twitter about it, there's just gonna be a lot of people and this is nice. This is comfy. Comfy Bernard hours. Look how well he's doing. How much is this? This is like 3%? Tom Steyer's doing pretty well. Why is Andrew Yang there if he dropped out? Is that... Wait, Deval Patrick dropped out too. Why is Bloomberg not on here? Am I confused? Do I not know how a caucus works?
Not just about that one aha moment. Science is a process. It takes time, dedication.
Does Bloomberg just have literally no real-life support that it's impossible?
What we make has to work. We strive to protect you. At 3M, we're in pursuit.
Yeah, everybody's saying to shut the ads off. No ads. Bloomberg isn't on the ballot till Super Tuesday. Oh, okay. Okay. I love how the dude can just fucking skip everything that people have been working for months. Everything. The debates, like speeches, touring, stuff like that, canvassing. He can skip everything and just alley-oop, buy his, like, flood our fucking lives with his ads on TV, on YouTube, everywhere, and just whoop straight into the debate. He's like second place in some polls. How is that even? Guys, challenge. Here's a challenge for you. What is Bloomberg's vision? What is his policies? Why is he here? I literally can't think of a single thing. When I think of candidates, when I think of Bernie Sanders, I think Medicare for all. When I think of Tulsi Gabbard, I think, foreign policy, anti-regime change. When I think of Andrew Yang, I thought of, UBI. These other guys, when I think of Biden, I think of Remember Obama. When I think of Amy, I think of staplers being thrown at her employees. And also, I'm from the Midwest. I can't... What is Bloomberg... Okay, CNN's back on. We gotta listen.
The key race alert right now, 9% of the precincts reporting Bernie Sanders remains on top, 5,208. Joe Biden, 2,312 in second place. Pete Buttigieg, third place, 1,884. Elizabeth Warren, 1,362. In fifth place, Amy Klobuchar, 957. Then Tom Steyer, 517. Tulsi Gabbard, 8 votes right now. This is the popular vote from sample precincts. We still have not received any county delegates accounts from the Iowa State Democratic Party. We're waiting for that. Diane Gallagher is working her sources. She's joining us right now. Diane, what are you learning? You're in Las Vegas. Are there any problems out there?
Yeah, Wolf, look, overall, there are some minimal issues here, but one that we're starting to see come about is that some of these precinct chairs, as they're trying to phone those results into the hotline, are getting busy signals. We've spoken with several at this point who have tried repeatedly to call the hotline number, which we've been told by the party has 200 paid staffers to answer those calls from the precinct chairs, but they're getting busy signals. Now, the Nevada Democrats did set up these redundancies in case something like this happened, and they have the precinct chairs texting in photos of that math worksheet, the paper that shows their work.
So they made these people, the volunteers, sign NDAs apparently.
But also the precinct chairs we talked to, that second redundancy.
Non-disclosure agreements, which, not sketchy at all.
Tells us that he was able to send it in with no problems.
I've only had to sign one of those once in my life.
But Wolf, again, this
and
was something, as you know, that
the fucking company I signed it for turned out to be sketchy.
After waiting on the phone, that hotline
if you guys remember, I did an ad for Candid, which was just a fucking bizarre disaster. And they made us sign an NDA, and I thought, I guess this is normal, because it was the first time I ever did a sponsorship. And I was like, oh, I guess this is just a thing, that everyone does. No, when someone tells you to sign an NDA, you gotta be sketchy about that, because there's obviously something going on. And they made these volunteers sign an NDA.
This afternoon, taking a look at both.
Is this not just voting? Why would they need an NDA?
So,
isn't that the most sketchiest shit?
Educated women. Take a look here. They make up about 20% of the electorate. Sanders, 22%. White, college-educated women.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not in that demographic. I'm not college educated.
17%. Biden at 13%. This is a competitive category. As I said, a 20% share, a fifth of the electorate.
I am not college educated, but I am a white woman.
Without a college education, and you are seeing a pattern repeat itself again. One category where
here's
Sanders
me.
Is competitive.
White women, no degree. Oh, white men.
And another
no.
where he runs away with it. 42% of white men in the Nevada Democratic Caucus going electorate today support Bernie Sanders. That compares to 18% for Pete Buttigieg, 11%.
Bernie's like murdering these people.
8% for Warren. Anderson, over to you.
David Chalian, fascinating. How do you read those numbers? I mean, Van Jones, when you look at those numbers, what do you...
Well, I thought it was very interesting that the women fell to the very, very bottom once it went over to the men. So, but people say that gender has no impact. Those numbers would suggest otherwise. But listen, Bernie Sanders has appeal that is broader than people thought, at least in Nevada.
More than people
One state,
thought. What
at
you
least in
guys
Nevada.
thought.
The big question with a candidate like him is, great, you got
Not
your,
him,
your
but
camp, you got your
CNN,
tribe, you got your
MSNBC.
following.
Broader
Can
than
you
what
grow
they
it?
thought.
Can you expand it? Can you actually build a coalition that can win? Yeah, it's starting to look like he can, because he's ahead of Elizabeth Warren, who's a wine track candidate who should be dominating college-educated women. Certainly Klobuchar, he's beating them on their own turf.
Also, if you're Donald Trump looking at Sanders...
I love how Bernie's
wide
just
appeal
massacring
among
these people, and they're like, he should be doing
men,
better,
that's
though.
That's also, I would think, something that the Trump campaign would...
Non-college educated white men are historically the white whale, no pun intended, for the Democratic Party. Those are not reliable Democratic voters. So if they are excited about a candidate, that certainly speaks to an expansion of the Democratic electorate in the general that we could be excited about. One thing I want to say about Warren is that I think the early voting might have hurt her more. I mean, early voting is good. I'm glad it happened. It might have hurt her more than any other candidate. I'm waiting to see what the split between the early vote versus day of vote, because that great debate that she had where she eviscerated Michael Bloomberg happened just in time to miss the early vote. So I think we're gonna have to wait until we see the numbers from today to see whether she got the bump from that she got
White,
in fundraising.
non-college educated males are the white whale of the Democratic Party.
Women, they had almost the same amount, and then Bernie had more than either one of them. And
By the way, I wish I could
Biden
watch MSNBC.
Was behind. And
because
if you're
they're
Joe Biden, you're looking
the
at today
low
and
cows.
saying,
MSNBC
okay,
is
good
terrible,
enough.
but
That's what you're saying.
I
was
can't get
communicating with
MSNBC for
people
some
in the
reason. I
campaign,
don't
and
have
I think their
cable, and
feeling
like I
is,
can't
this is good enough.
find a
But
stream of
with numbers
MSNBC.
like
I can't get them, so we have to
it's
settle with
hard
CNN.
because you don't have young voters. You don't have these women that you thought you were going to get.
If you're Biden.
If you're Biden, yeah. So you can look at this and say, okay, I can breathe a little bit now before South Carolina, but Bernie Sanders is a lot to catch up with. And one thing, I just wanted to ask our ex-candidate here, we were talking before about the moderates and stuff. Do these people talk to each other about what to do next or how they're going to behave to
Look at
Bloomberg,
Andrew on
can
CNN.
we moderates get together, as we were talking about before?
the way,
we thought it was foolish.
The way it works between campaigns is like this. You have like the candidate to candidate relationship, and a lot of the candidates have each other's cell phones, but we're not in the habit of texting each other, being like, "Hey, what do you think?"
How are you?
Andrew's giving us the tea.
Yeah, so most of the communication happens from team to team, and politics is incestuous enough such that everyone on every team knows someone on someone else's team. So if I looked at my team and was like, "Hey, I want to talk to Biden's team," I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know his XXX is like chief of staff, is this and that." So the question is whether the staffers on different campaigns are having these conversations, and then after it reaches a certain level, then it graduates up to the candidates typically.
And what would the conversations be? I guess that's my question.
They just really
So
want to know the tea.
You do have teams talk to each other, and then occasionally someone would say to me like, "Hey, FYI, Joe wants to call you." And I'm like, sure. And then you schedule that call, and then you have that convo. So I have a feeling that the campaign-to-campaign communications are already happening, and then the question is whether it reaches the candidates.
Do you think they coordinated in advance on the kneecapping of Bloomberg, or do you think that was just spontaneous?
I think that was organic and spontaneous. And I think we may see some more of that on Tuesday.
I think the one thing I would say about Nevada is that this is one state, right? This is the first of the more diverse states, but it's also
You ain't gonna make me watch CNN. You ain't gonna make me a CNN viewer.
Voters, the pool of people that we're talking about is probably just over 100,000 people. It's not a lot of people. So I don't want to extrapolate too much from what we're seeing in these numbers. But I think the key, though, that everybody's looking for is what is the combination of groups.
This is how I
that you
keep
can put
up
together to
with
be a
this
successful
cursed
candidate in the general
primary.
election. I think
Some
Bernie
people have
Sanders is making
alcohol.
a lot of significant progress.
Some people have
The
drugs.
white college educated women number
I
is
have to
very
take
important to Democrats
energy
because if they look back at
shots to keep
2018
myself up.
and they look back at what happened in the
Sad.
suburbs, they're seeing a lot of those women in the suburbs turning on the Republican Party, turning on Trump, and coming out to basically say healthcare is the most important issue to me, and I'm sick and tired of what we're seeing out in Washington, and I want to change. If Sanders is doing well with those voters, it's really good for him. Looking, though, over at the black vote in Nevada, again, a small this is a small group of voters that we're talking about.
I'm just
but
reading what you
Biden
guys are
retains
saying.
his strength there. It's not as big as it has
Low
been in the
energy
past, but
shoe.
he's retained his strength.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that's
just sleeping
why,
so bad.
to
I
the
have
earlier
like
conversation, his people are feeling
you know,
pretty
it's
good
actually a
because from a
cycle though.
narrative
I'm just
perspective, what
sleeping
they wanted
bad,
to be able to
so
say
then I
leaving
take
Nevada
this
is,
shit because I'm
Joe
tired.
Biden's
But then
base
this shit
is
makes
the
me
base of the
stay up.
Democratic Party. It is
It's just
African American voters, and going into
hell
South
world.
Carolina,
But
they are hoping to be able to build on
good
that.
news
But
is
I think Sanders is giving
I've
him a little
been
bit of
more
a run for his
productive
money. I
than
mean,
usual.
we are getting to the point now where
So
Sanders
that's
is
good.
running in a lot of polls even to Biden with the black vote. That is
I'm already so
incredibly
energetic,
important. I
so
think
it's
we need
just
to look
like
at the whole picture, but not put too much on this
death.
one place. 100,000 voters.
Bernie's running away with stuff in his own lane and grabbing other people's stuff, and Biden's holding on to his little core.
Biden's holding on
Talking about
for
who
dear
gets to be
life.
a kingmaker at a convention, I think Biden is sort of best positioned to be in that role.
He wants to be the king, though, I think.
I mean, I think he wants to be the king, but I think he understands that he's going to come in with a really powerful role if he's not on top. I think it's not so much that he needs a second to get a massive boost and be right back in the race, comeback kid style. I think he needs seconds to still be viable and still possibly be that kingmaker. If he takes second today and then comes in strong in South Carolina, he's pretty well positioned.
I mean, I still think, this is sort of the problem when you base your entire argument on electability, right? Is that you actually have to win. And so even though
I like how they're finally getting it. They are finally getting it. They're seeing the numbers pour in. They're finally getting that electability, and
that a lot of people thought that he was going to have.
I'm the most electable is just
I want to
bullshit.
comment on it's just how unique it is that you have the Democratic frontrunner right now for the nomination who can capture Joe in a hard hat, the white working class that I feel like everybody, at least in DC, the punditry world, obsesses with, and is building a coalition that is now, yes, of young people, but it's moving across generations. It's moving across race, and it's moving across even ideology, at least from what we can see here. So we don't want to read
Oh
too
yeah, a
much
bunch
into
of
it. I
conservatives and moderates
agree with that,
apparently
but as
voted
we
for
look
Bernie
at
in some of
the
these
forecast
areas.
ahead, depending on the
And like
results for
CNN
tonight,
and MSNBC
there's
were like
only
kind of
one
really
candidate right now
confused
that
about
seems
it.
to be set
They were like,
to,
aha,
at
this
least at the bare minimum,
this is
plurality of the
quite
delegates or
strange
possibly
going on here.
Organization
This is a
is
little
so
weird.
much a
Haha.
part of winning a caucus. And one thing has Bernie Sanders
They're
has
just
shown
very-
us is that he can out-organize
very
just about
confused by
anybody.
it.
You could do that in a caucus, and he had more money than anybody. So the question is, moving on, can you do that in South Carolina the way you did it here in a caucus?
We're told official statewide votes from the Nevada Democratic Party could come any moment. We'll bring you the numbers as soon as we get them, but first a quick break.
This is Goldus Carrot Publishing, a small business.
Nope. Okay, so let's talk about the current thing happening on Twitter last night. And that was hashtag Bernie knew. Hashtag Bernie is a Russian asset. Apparently months ago, Bernie got told by the high-up United States suit guys, the important guys, the very important men, that Bernie's campaign was being helped by the Russians. Right. He was told that this was confidential information. So he couldn't tell anybody about this. Like, keep it on the down low. Last night, the night before this caucus, the cursed Nevada caucus, out of nowhere, Washington Post, our good friend Jeff Bezos, posts an article about how the Russians are helping Bernie Sanders' campaign. And the wine moms on Twitter, the Karens, the check marks, it was like Christmas. For the first time, they were coming to me and they were just like flooding my mentions, being like, okay, June, if that's your real name, look at this totally real person supporting Bernie. Like, they were like dead ass. The Russian hysteria is actually extremely unhealthy. They did this with Obama, they did this with JFK. For some reason, for some crazy reason, the Russians seem to back many presidential candidates. Usually the ones that the establishment doesn't like. They, of course, famously did this to Trump. They did this to Tulsi. They're still doing it to Tulsi. And I don't know if the wine moms understand why they should be scared or whatever of this Russian thing. I don't think they understand that the reason why people call people like Tulsi and Bernie and Trump and all those people Russian assets is because of their anti-intervention, anti-war stances. Because if we don't go into the Middle East, or if we don't go overseas and invade countries, then that's good for Russia. If we don't want to start a war with Russia, then that's good for Russia. And therefore, the anti-war candidates are all Russian assets. And it's just like the brainworms. The absolute brainworms. There were people quoting Bernie like, this isn't Bernie Sanders, this is a Russian bot. Like, checkmark high-level celebrities losing their minds over this. And it just so happened to come out right before this caucus. But as you can see, it's not really having that much of an effect. They're trying really hard. They're throwing everything at him. Trump, whom I do not like, you know I do not like, has been having fire takes about this primary lately and how they're cheating Bernie and stuff. Like, extremely truthful takes, too. I don't think this is like a 4D chess thing. I think he's just like, the Democratic Party's corrupt. Look at how corrupt they are. Look what they're doing. I think his angle is to get Bernie supporters because that's happened. It's happened before when Bernie was fucked over. But even a whole bunch of Republicans are like, oh yeah, this is super un-American. They should just let democracy play out. Like, I don't like Bernie. I don't agree with him, but this is not fair. It's like, why cannot the Democrats, why cannot we just not have brainworms? Like, if the boomers can get it, if the Republican boomers who have, like, who type in all, like, caps and have those, and always type those smiley face emojis that are crying, they're like, haha, you vote for a commie, like, shit like that. If those people can get it, why can't seemingly smart, elite, liberal types get it? Like, one of these people who go along with the Russia hysteria, one of these people is, famously Karen Summers, who is she's like a political science major or something. She's like smart. She's book smart. But Russia, it's just, honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I briefly talked to somebody who seemed like a smart person, and he was like, you don't think the Kremlin want Bernie to win? You don't think the Kremlin are behind this? You're an idiot. This has been going on since 2016. I just don't understand. Terminal brainworms. Okay, let's listen to this.
Between that first round and that final round, and by far, he is doing that more so than any of his competitors. Look on the next line, you'll see Joe Biden, he gained 195 between the first round and
Joe
the final
Biden's
round.
doing pretty
If you look
well. I'm actually surprised at how well Joe Biden is doing.
Only 9, from 1,965 to 1,000.
Pete got 9.
He only gained 9 votes.
He
between
gained
the first
9
round and the
votes
final round.
between the
And then
two
you start to
rounds.
see candidates who lost vote between the first round and the final round. Elizabeth Warren, she lost 316. Amy Klobuchar, she went from 1324 in the first round, 977. She lost 347. And look at Tom Steyer, Wolf. He went from 1,196 in the first round,
Aw, poor
564 in the final
Steyer.
round, to 6,000. That is a loss of 632 votes. That is because he wasn't viable in a lot
You know,
of places. He wasn't
Steyer was
hitting that
weird
15%
because, like,
threshold that you need
he kind of
to be
became the
viable.
Bernie fanboy, and that was cute. And we kind of, like, shipped them as best friends. It was like some kind of anime. They didn't even talk about Tulsi. Tulsi was just grayed out. Did you see that?
At least to start getting
Yes,
anyway.
as you know, what the 2 rounds of
Tom
voting
Steyer
actually
wasn't
helped
bad. Tom
determine
Steyer actually
is that
had
through
some
the formula,
progressive
they come up
policies.
with
He was
these
for the
county
wealth
delegates
tax.
percentages that will determine who wins the
But then he made an
Nevada
ad
caucuses,
attacking Bernie.
tonight, and it also helps determine going on
And
to
the
their
friendship
national convention delegates in
was
Milwaukee.
over.
That
But
is
still,
the
I don't
key
think Tom
metric that
Steyer's the
determines
worst.
winner. So what they're doing now is, of course, checking and double checking the numbers.
He's not a
that have come
Bloomberg.
in,
There are
applying
different
that
types
mathematical
of
formula,
billionaires.
precinct by precinct,
There are
to
Tom
that county
Steyers,
delegate,
and there are
percentage, and then they're going to
Bloombergs.
report all of that out officially from the Nevada State Party.
And we'll, of course, report to our viewers as soon as they report all those numbers to us. Stand by. Much more of our coverage coming up right after this.
I'm glad you're enjoying this.
Now,
Fucking ads.
the first big
Fucking ads. Okay. What do you guys think of the Russian thing? I want to see your opinions. I want to see if I find any more opinions. Do you think that Russia actually had something to do with Trump winning? Because as far as I know, the only proof they had was like some Facebook group making memes. I'm of the opinion, and call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, I am of the opinion that the whole Russia thing was just a big cover-up because of the DNC's fuck-ups and their embarrassing loss and the embarrassing turnout for Hillary Clinton and the WikiLeaks. I think it was all like a big cover-up and it's not real. That's my opinion. I'm not sure what the... I do think they wanted him to win. Someone said that. Yeah, well, again, that's the whole, like... The candidate that runs on being, like, anti-war and shit isn't a threat to Russia, so I think they would want that. I'm not being, like, a Russian apologist or something. I'm just saying, like, if there was a candidate, like, let's say in another country there was a candidate like, I won't blow up the United States, we'd be like, that guy, you know what I mean? I don't think it's, like, this huge nefarious plot, but, you know, Putin's a bad guy. He's a fucking, like, dictator and shit. Like, we don't like him, but... I don't know, I don't know. This whole thing is very overblown to me, I think. Some say Boomerberg. Boomerberg? Someone said China is the real threat. Well, China already owns us. They own us. They own us in every single way. Without even, like, lifting a finger. Without any violence. Wait, I'm dying. 1 second. The CIA heart attack gun got me. Okay, I'm back. Did you guys see the so the 100th first LGBTQ Disney character? I don't know how many first LGBT characters there have been for Disney. There's a lot of firsts, but apparently there's a new one, and she is a cop. So I can't wait to see this first LGBT... I can't wait till she just briefly goes, my wife and then is not even in the movie anymore. Or, like, briefly holds hands with another woman for 2 seconds, and then isn't in the movie anymore. Fucking Disney. Disney's pandering is, like, I call it queer baiting. Disney's queer baiting is so bad. Remember, the first openly gay LGBT character! And then you watch it, Beauty and the Beast, the live action, you watch it, he's in the closet the whole time. What the fuck does open mean, Disney? Or Avengers. The first LGBT character in Avengers. And it's just some guy who briefly mentions he has a husband. They're pussies, anyway.
With the panel. Andrew, do you think that this impacts Bernie Sanders one way or another? But Mayor Buttigieg is apparently already fundraising off this notion of the Russians supporting Sanders or trying to get him elected.
I don't think anyone believes for a moment that Bernie is somehow courting that kind of help. It just speaks to the need that we have to secure our social media and our election infrastructure from Russian interference. Just want to make a note on these vote totals. I'd keep an eye on Pete Buttigieg because his campaign has a knack for getting extra delegates in the rural counties. They did it in Iowa.
His campaign has a knack for,
so since the delegate count's going to be the
out of nowhere gaining a whole bunch of votes,
they may overperform the
and also owning the app
because
that calculates
worked
them.
for them in Iowa. We tried to do the same thing in Iowa. My campaign, we did not do it as effectively as Pete. Pete's campaign is very, very good at maximizing delegate returns.
How do you go about doing that? I mean, what's the way?
What you do is you go to the less trodden paths in rural counties where they have slightly disproportionate delegate output based upon the number of humans you get to show up to the caucuses. So what that means in practice is that Pete organized, advertised, and appeared more in rural parts of Nevada, that you get better bang for your buck rather than Vegas and Reno.
Can I make a point on the Russian front before we move off of it entirely? When Russia engages with the Trump campaign, they are doing so to help Trump win. When Russia gets involved on the Democratic side, they are doing it to divide Democrats and help Trump win. So I think it's a very key difference in terms of the motivating factor there. They did this in 2016. They quote unquote helped Bernie's campaign, but it wasn't really
heavy
helping his
quotes
campaign.
there.
It was sowing dissent among Democrats. It was trying to drive a wedge.
CNN!
Animosity already existed,
We don't need Putin
that seems to be the way that
to drive.
Time also. So I don't want to. I just don't
We
want
don't need Putin
they're for Bernie and they're for Trump because that's
to make
I think that's totally
Democrats
right.
fight with
And
each
I
other.
think that it's
I
really,
promise
really
you.
critical that Democrats across
I promise you,
progressives and
Putin does
moderates
not
don't
need
take
to
the bait
interfere.
here, and focus on the issues because the press coverage that this has gotten is exactly what Russia wants.
Well,
it's just
oh my God.
You can't say for sure the motivation of what's in Vladimir Putin's head. I mean, for all you could just as easily argue, and I don't know what the motivation of Russia is, but you could just as easily argue if it's not going to be Trump, they might think Sanders for some reason would be not as strong on foreign policy.
I mean, our intelligence agencies say that they are in for helping Trump. I think that it makes sense that they would be pursuing a similar tactic.
Well, at least he said it. At least he said the reason why
animosity between Hillary
the
and Bernie
Russians support people is because of the anti-war.
In a way that the Trump campaign never.
The different reactions with Trump was so startling.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the one thing I must say I did not like about the way Bernie Sanders responded to this, because I thought he was pitch perfect at first in talking about the Russians. But then he started blaming the media.
That was deeply troubling.
Yeah. Blaming the media for this, blaming the Washington Post, trying to sort of say who the sources were and why this came out the day before the primary. And then...
How dare he
as
blame
if
the
Washington
media?
Post, if it had this story, should not have reported it, or should have... If the sources
They're so booty bothered.
But it's not about the Washington Post.
Then he blames the media.
It's news. It's genuinely newsworthy.
Ultimately, that's what's going to be problematic for Bernie Sanders as we discuss this further, is that for a lot of Democrats, what this episode has really shown is that Sanders has some instincts that they're uncomfortable with. This idea of pivoting to blaming the Washington Post has really set some people off, and it's really alarmed some Democrats who, frankly, are already uncomfortable with Bernie Sanders into thinking, yes, he's right about the Russian interference part, but there are other elements of this that they're not comfortable with. Pivoting and saying that the Washington Post is trying to harm.
Oh, they're not
them
comfortable with the finger being pointed at
owns the
them.
Washington
Surprise.
Post, Jeff Bezos, which is literally exactly what Donald Trump says.
Because Trump and Bernie can be correct about the same thing. They can be correct that the media is shit.
I'm a relatively new person here at CNN. There are not a ton of people.
Oh God,
that
run while
are
you
my
can.
age
You
or
seem
that
very
look like
sweet.
me. Most of the
Welcome to
people that
CNN.
sit in a lot of
Please
the most
run
powerful
away.
rooms in the country, pushing forward our news, are are not the same sort of level of class or are a lot less wealthy than the folks that are sitting there. So I think that even though it might not be, literally some person pulling the strings there is a worldview that is vastly different from the everyday voter to who are DC pundits and folks that are in the newsroom. And I think that's where a lot of everyday Americans.
What Bernie Sanders was saying. That's the question. Is he saying that Jeff Bezos was somehow behind this?
Anything to do with the underlying.
Yes! Is she serious?
Discord in the U.S.
We're learning more about log jams in reporting.
I love how they're like, the Russians are coming. Ha, he's saying that Jeff Bezos is behind the Washington Post. Ha!
There's a new way to vacation here. And stay in a place like this. And bring her, him, them.
They're like, I can't. Yeah, it literally is just a modern Red Scare. That woman's gonna be fired. That was too much of a, she made too much sense. Who do you think Bernie will pick for his running mate? I was hoping Tulsi for a very long time, but I think there's just too much shit surrounding her now, thanks to the media and everything, that it might be a liability. So I've been saying that I want Tulsi to be like Secretary of State. I think that would be a perfect position for her, because that's what she's just good at, and also because it used to be Hillary's old position. So it's kind of like funny in a way, just like karma. She's like replacing her. But for VP, I think it might be Nina Turner. So if you don't know who Nina Turner is, probably get familiar with her. She's really cool. She's amazing. I only found out about her like a little before Christmas, so I was like really late in the game to who Nina was, but I really like her. She was the person who the DNC physically boarded out from a meeting. Physically put a barrier between her and the elites. And to make up for it, the DNC gave Nina a bunch of donuts. Like, over the barrier. Gave Nina donuts. And that's where Donut Twitter, the term Donut Twitter, is formed. Because then all the Hillary types, all the neolibs on Twitter started saying, put a donut emoji in your name if you're proud of being a Democrat. And so they were all celebrating the fact that the elites literally boarded off progressives and Nina Turner and just gave her donuts. So they like bragged about it. They were just like, yeah, we're the donuts. Just politics. That's politics, apparently. I ordered a taco salad. So that's going to be coming soon. Very exciting. My life is very exciting. See, someone pointed out to me that Tulsi might be a good VP because she's basically assassination proof. That Bernie won't get assassinated. The CIA won't try it because the only other person is going to be Tulsi. She'll be like a... I thought Mike Pence was assassination proof for Donald Trump in like 2016. Let's see how they're doing.
At the West Career Tech Academy site says that he actually was texted a different phone number to call by his site lead. When he called that, he got a recording that basically said, you've reached the Nevada Democratic Party. Your hold time is more than 30 minutes. Herbe tells me that he's going to call back later, but he's already done the redundancy here. And this is what we're seeing happen. He has texted in a picture of that math worksheet, and he plans to help drive those materials over to the party so they can have them officially. And even though we are getting reports of these busy hotlines, the redundancy, that backup plan of texting the
How do you guys feel about a Yang VP? I know Bernie said he wanted a woman,
these precinct chairs who are getting this busy hotline,
and it's probably going to be Nina, but how do you feel about a Yang Sanders, a Sanders Yang
The
thing?
party says that they are working diligently to make sure that as the caucuses close, everything is relayed to them in a timely manner, but they do acknowledge they're getting those backup texts as a result.
And do we have any sense of how widespread? I mean, I
Do you see this incompetence going on right here? They're like, oh, people can't call in.
We've actually talked to several.
They're being
of them,
put on
and
hold.
Even several who, Anderson, have had different times of reporting. So maybe who finished up far before some of the other ones. So this appears to be something that is spread out. Again, Chris Irby getting texted that different phone number to call in. He had tried calling this, but of almost every precinct chair that we had been in touch with has dealt with the busy signal at least once. And so some of them were able to get through and report. Others went ahead, did what they were told to do, which is text that picture in and then try back on the phone afterward.
Dan Gallagher will continue checking with you at Democratic Party headquarters in
Yeah, why
in Las
can't they
Vegas, back now with
text?
the
That's a
panel.
good thing she just brought up.
Does this sound serious?
Why do they have to like call?
I don't know. Compared to Iowa?
Yeah, Iowa, 30 minutes.
How is any of this legal when you think about it?
Not so much compared
This
to
is
Iowa.
such a mess.
So it's hard to judge at this point. I was just looking at our numbers up there on the screen, and I think maybe we ought to talk about Tom Steyer, though. How about that? He spent a lot of money in Nevada. And if you look at Tom Steyer spending a lot of money, it hasn't gotten him a lot of love. Money didn't buy him love. And
People
the
saying
question that I
texting
have
is
then
insecure.
what
That's right.
happens,
That's
you know,
true.
for Mike Bloomberg, for
That's
example.
true.
Mike Bloomberg takes
DNC,
something,
don't
take a
listen to
lesson
me.
from this, but
This
you
is
don't know
why
where Steyer's
I'm
gonna
not
end
running
up
for office or
whether he's gonna end
anything.
up out
This is
of
why I'm a
office,
YouTuber.
and maybe Andrew, you could talk about that. But he has been spending a lot of money in South Carolina, and he spent a bunch of money in Nevada.
Yeah, the thing
One
to
second,
look out
guys.
for is whether Tom gets a qualifying poll tomorrow in
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina. If he doesn't, he'll be on the debate stage the following day. And South Carolina is his strongest state. If he doesn't get a poll, then he won't be on the debate stage, and that's going to be a source of great frustration for him and his campaign because they've been putting a lot of resources into South Carolina in particular.
You know, a lot of people kind of think of Tom as the guy who, like, you know, Mr. Impeachment early on, that kind of stuff. He has a much longer history, actually, with the black community, with poor communities, especially in California, on the climate issue. And so he's always believed this kind of people power stuff. He's willing to write the check, but he wants to see real people, you know, out there doing real organizing. So if he's not able to do well here with that model, his money and real people organizing, he doesn't do well with that in South Carolina, where he should have a shot at the black vote given Biden's, you know, collapse. Then I think he's got real problems.
Yeah, I mean, the question is obviously, is this a little bit of like a balloon filled with air where, you know, just a little prick will cause the whole thing to collapse? He has a lot of name ID, especially in South Carolina, but all over the country, frankly, because of how pervasive his ads are. This is a warning sign. Could it be a lot softer than we think? And for Tom Steyer, what does that mean? For Michael Bloomberg, what does that mean? What happens when the candidates with a lot of money, a lot of name ID, and a lot of ads don't have maybe the organizing strength that they need, or the durability of the support, the kind of movement support that you need to survive as we go further along in the contest.
We are about to get official results from the Democratic Party in Nevada. We're told we'll have new vote tallies ahead.
This is Charlie not coughing because he took Gelson 12 hour. And this is Charlie still not coughing while trying his hardest not to wake Zeus.
I'm here just in time for the ads.
12 hour.
Nice.
Nothing like.
Okay, so I heard them saying something about Tom Steyer and Mike Bloomberg spending a lot of money and not doing that well, and just boo-hoo. I don't know what to tell you. Just reading you guys. Chair stream, yes. Who is your least favorite? I'm guessing it's gonna be Bloomberg. Mine is Bloomberg for sure. I told myself, because I was Bernie or bust in 2016, I voted for him in the primary, then I didn't vote, I stayed home. I told myself, next election, I am not staying home. I am just going to vote. I'm going to vote blue no matter who, you know? If it's Bloomberg, no. I could vote for Warren. I could maybe vote for Biden. But Bloomberg and Pete, gun to my head, I'd vote for Pete. Gun to my head, with Bloomberg, I'd take the bullet. I'm sorry. Bloomberg is the worst. I honestly, truly believe, and this is a hot take, but I actually do believe, maybe it's not a hot take, I don't know. I think that Bloomberg might be worse than Trump. Because, like, Trump is kind of, like, dumb, not in, like, he's politically smart, but he's also kind of like, you know, he's Trump. Bloomberg's, like, sinister and, like, smart and competent. He's also much richer, which I'll be doing a video on, because I don't know if you guys understand how rich Bloomberg is. It's the type of rich where when the world is ending, he will fly off into safety. He'll be one of, like, the 10 who get to fly off to safety. He's the type of dude that probably sleeps in, like, a big vat of, like, youth, like, juice or something. Like, dude is, like, crazy out of touch with the normal folk. He's scary, and plus his history is terrible. He's extremely authoritarian. Extremely authoritarian. I don't know what to call it. Like, he's just in this, what is that shit, like, that keeps you, like, purified? Like, the mummy juice? Like, the dude sleeps in that. I made a joke how he drinks children blood, and someone said that was anti-Semitic? It's not fucking anti-Semitic. What are you talking about? On Twitter, I made that joke, and someone was like, nice anti-Semitism. What? He's in Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book. Shut up. Also, I completely didn't know Bloomberg was Jewish until I got that comment. Didn't even cross my mind. Stem cells. He sleeps in stem cells, yes. Yeah, I don't know how that's anti-Semitic. Like, I don't... Oh, what is this?
Anything in this tweet. He has been saying in rallies,
who is this guy?
We're making a lot of people nervous. We're making Wall Street nervous, Big Pharma nervous. He said this in Tacoma, Washington, in front of, what was it, 16, 17,000 people. And he said, and we're making the Democratic establishment nervous. And he is. He is.
And by the way, he is.
And he's he's saying it proudly. It's not,
and I think the thing is, look, in 2016, there was a rebellion in both parties.
They're crying about Bernie calling out the establishment Democrats.
The Democratic Party took the form of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, who was written off as sort of like Dennis Kucinich, redo, got 47% of our vote in 2016. You can't forget that. And so people thought, well, now Hillary can go on and become president. She didn't, and Bernie never stopped. I was in San Francisco like 3 years ago, and Bernie was there talking about Medicare for all with 8,000 people, and it wasn't even making the news. So the rebellion never
Wonder
stopped.
why.
And I think that's what you're seeing. And why is it? I think you made a very good point. There is a lot of pain at the bottom of our party. There's a lot of pain in this country that doesn't get talked about enough. And he speaks to that over and over and over again. And I think that there's a power that comes in being witnessed, being recognized in your pain and in your suffering, and to feel like somebody's consistent about that. So listen, he's not wrong. The establishment is upset. And there's another station, another channel, there's other things going on tonight where people are freaking out, melting down all across the country, at least all over the
They're
airwaves.
talking about MSNBC, fucking CNN subtweeting MSNBC over here. Did you hear that?
Somebody else's pain, which a lot of other politicians that sort of give a
God, I wish we could watch MSNBC, damn it.
But this is a consistent refrain from Bernie Sanders. I mean, it's something he has been consistently talking about for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in aside from Donald Trump being the president of the United States right now, we are facing a number of existential crises. Yeah. You have 50% plus of the American people who are making less than $40,000 a year experiencing a level of income inequality that we've never seen.
Van Jones.
Not just millions
He's cool.
of
I like
people
him.
like myself, but their parents that are locked into crushing student debt.
When CNN is making fun of you,
through the roof. And
that's when you might have to get your
decade,
priorities straight.
Not really seeing any real growth for workers. So that is a base of people out there that are Republican, Democrat, independent. They don't fall cleanly in this ideological spectrum. They are looking for a Democratic Party that centers the poor and working people of this country in a way that we
progressive values pull so much higher than the Democratic Party does. Like, I'm a proud Democrat, so seeing Republican establishment lined up with a Democratic establishment and equated in that way, obviously I don't love it. But I'm in the minority there. People like progressive values. People like what the Democratic Party stands for. That doesn't mean that they identify as Democrats, even.
And it doesn't mean that they
Oh my God!
think that the Democratic Party has been working.
Right.
I think one of the really fascinating things is
look at this. All these people are gonna get fucking fired.
Voters, especially talking to black voters and watching really a complete turnaround in Bernie Sanders' ability to appeal to those voters this cycle compared to the last, is that he's really been able to connect his message on income inequality and all of those other issues to
They're being so nice. This
that
is
has
so
always
great. See, this is
existed,
why I
especially
wanted to
among
watch
communities of color,
MSNBC. I
frankly.
want to see
And
the
it's
salt.
easier
I
for
want to
younger
see the
people to give
mad.
voice to this,
But this is nice. This is
African-American
refreshing.
voters
We're
in
gonna
particular,
stay on this.
the
I'm gonna try to
system
find
is not working
MSNBC
for them.
though.
They do not believe that the Democratic Party as a party is always functioning with their best interests in mind. And so when you're a Bernie Sanders and you're trying to run an insurgency campaign, you have to leave the party behind in order to do that. You cannot run with the party if you are going to
At some point, he's got to unite the party. Look, I know he's trying to win the nomination. I get it. So he's saying to the Democratic establishment, "Sorry, I'm gonna win this with you or without you. So goodbye." But what I don't like to hear in that is what you were saying, Jess.
What I don't
is
like.
this division among Democrats if they're going to try and beat Donald Trump. And remember, one thing everybody criticizes Trump about is not unifying the Republican Party, only playing to his base. And the question that you
Because
can
most of the
raise, and I
Republican
can
Party
raise
are
is,
just fucking
is this going to be a
neocons.
candidate who only plays to his base or becomes more inclusive? Now may be too early because he's trying to win. But at a certain point, Bernie Sanders is going to have to do sort of a more of a big
What's Andrew? How do you see that?
Well, first, I agree with everything that you said, Van. This is why I ran. And when I went around to Democrats, actually, no, not Democrats, working class Americans around the country, if you have a D next to your name, it's like a scarlet letter. Like, they do not think Democrats speak to them. And I was talking to truck drivers and waitresses, and I was like, theoretically, aren't you who the Democratic Party should be speaking to and standing up for? But they thought that the Democratic Party wanted nothing to do with them.
Exactly.
And that is, to me, a real problem with the Democratic Party. You have to do some soul searching if working class Americans think that your
See,
party
this is why Yang
not
being
their
on
party.
CNN
That's why I ran.
is
I
a
ran
good
to
thing.
say, look, we have to solve these underlying economic issues that have been festering and building up in our communities for years and decades that got Donald Trump elected. And to me, the Democratic Party never really reckoned with how the heck do you lose to Donald Trump?
Yeah.
You know, and then you just blame everything under the sun. Like,
On the establishment, the so-called
But just
establishment.
keep in mind, Donald Trump has unified the Republican Party.
He pulled it off.
He has actually brought his party
Well, it
to
is
where
him
he
now.
is. So I just think we have to keep in mind that sometimes you and the party can start in different places, but I think what Bernie Sanders is banking on is that he is going to bring the party to where he is at the end of the day. And frankly, if you look at the results that we've seen, 60% of people saying
He's already done it. I mean,
it's already happening.
Yeah, we got to get a break and we'll continue this discussion. We're standing by for some more votes. We're going to hear from some of the Democratic candidates live. Back in a moment.
Is this just what TV is? It's like 2 seconds of like the thing you want to watch and then like an hour of commercials. I don't remember it being this bad when I was younger. It's just, wow. Okay, so CNN's being pretty refreshing tonight. There's, of course, that Karen woman who is just very offended that Bernie dares call out the establishment. But for the most part, some of them get it. Yang absolutely gets it. It's been a pretty smooth night thus far. But let's not jinx it. Let's knock on wood. Because, you know, it never goes smooth. Like, who are we kidding? Something's gonna happen.
Talk to your doctor. Call 844-214-2424.
Okay, trying to find live MSNBC here. Yeah, MSNBC like doesn't let you watch their shit live unless you have cable.
We've got a different way to look at it from right here on the right. We don't just see United States. We see United Towns. From where we sit, just down the street, near the post office, by the park. When we stop and look around, what we see are sparks. Sparks of hope, of compassion.
Oh shit, wait. I found one, guys. I found an MSNBC live stream. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? I'm excited. I'm excited to switch to MSNBC. Alright, guys.
Mr. Peanut, he spent his life bringing people together. I know we'd be happy that we are all
Let me switch. Let me just grab the link.
What is happening?
Alright. Here we go. One second, friends. Just boomer moment real quick. Just a boomer moment. Okay, we got two of the same thing going on here. Gonna fix that real quick. Okay. We got a CNN stream. I mean, an MSNBC. So...
And if you're seeing Sanders not doing as well, 29% here, as he is in those other numbers we've been showing you from our spotters around the state, the reason is...
As soon as I turn it on, Bernie's not doing that well, guys. He's in first, but...
County, that's the Las Vegas Valley. Like 70% of the vote is going to come from this one county, but only 29% of these precincts are from Clark County.
Great,
also,
we love to see
you
it.
look up here, Washoe County, Reno, that area, Sparks, that's going to make up about 20% statewide, and that is actually where Sanders seems to be doing a little bit worse than in the Las Vegas Valley. That accounts for 43% of this, and the rest comes from in here, from the sort of vast interior of Nevada. The exit polling is showing us that Sanders is running double digits better around Las Vegas than he is in the rest of the state. And the rest of the state is kind of disproportionately represented in these initial results we're seeing. So again, we are hoping this is a sign that we're going to get a lot more results soon, but you're seeing these numbers on the screen right now.
As soon as I turned it on. Bernie's not doing that well. Oh, this is what we should have been watching from the beginning. This is the shit. This is my shit.
Steve Kornacki, thanks. As promised, David Plouffe is here with us in our studios. David, what do you make of Carville's comments today that if the party doesn't come together, come to grips with the fact that they have a front runner that many of them might find limiting, then in his words, he doesn't know the party?
Well, what is the party? The party's voters these days. There's no smoky back room where these decisions are made. So ultimately...
Trust us, guys. There's no smoky back room where these decisions are made. The party's the voters.
Campaign, excitement, show the kind of growth to be a number one contestant. So, first of all, so someone who's a 79-year-old Democratic Socialist on Election Day might not be in the screenplay of how you beat Donald Trump. We don't know yet if Bernie Sanders will be a terrible nominee or a good nominee. That's what campaigns are for. I have two concerns that I think Bernie Sanders' campaign should address. One is, in a presidential campaign, the Electoral College chessboard is so important. How many states are you really putting in play? And I worry that Sanders is going to struggle more than some other candidates in Arizona, North Carolina, and Florida. So it's on the Sanders campaign to show us they can be competitive there. Secondly, we see some polling, whether it's accurate or not, that shows he's really struggling with suburban women, who were such a cornerstone of the Democrats.
He's struggling with wine moms.
So I
he's
think
struggling with suburban women.
There. But I do think he's got a very powerful economic message that will get back some of those Trump-Obama voters. So I think ultimately the voters are going to decide in November if Bernie Sanders is the nominee, if he's strong. But right now, there is no magic bag of tricks anybody has. It's on the people running for president right now. So the only person that can stop Bernie Sanders is one of the other candidates, and the clock is ticking. They're almost out of time. So I think if this doesn't narrow down to a two-person race really quickly with someone who's able not to come in a second place 30 behind Sanders, but is literally getting 40,
someone asked what my shirt said,
so that they can stay even on the delegates, they're not going to win.
It
so
says,
I understand that
you don't want to fuck with me,
socialist,
I don't want to fuck with you either.
Somebody like that cannot win the general election. But the other thing
Sanders is you don't want to fuck with me, I don't want you to fuck with me either.
So ultimately, I think it's on his campaign to show the rest of the party.
It's from the share zone.
There will be an open and welcoming
it's like a shitpost thing.
And that they can show strength with suburban voters and in parts of the country like Arizona, North Carolina, Florida, and Georgia that we need to put in play.
The top elected official.
Guys, how's the volume of the stream? Is it really? Is it loud?
It is reported that on a conference call this week, she said to her caucus regarding what to run on, 6 words: healthcare, healthcare, healthcare.
Exactly. So listen, if Bernie Sanders is the nominee, or anyone who's a nominee, if you're a vulnerable House Democrat, whether you're an incumbent or a challenger, I think you say, listen, I'm going to vote for whoever will get rid of Donald Trump. If you're an incumbent, you say, I just voted to impeach him. But I have my own agenda. And so I think this is right. So if we can't win the healthcare debate against Donald Trump as Democrats, we do not deserve to win the White House. He's incredibly vulnerable. I do think Medicare for All potentially makes that more challenging, but that's the campaign within a campaign that's so important. And so I think Bernie Sanders is going to have to really begin to broaden out his healthcare messaging. Because right now, we won 18 because we put Trump and the Republicans on the defensive. Right now, that is not part of the discussion. It's all about the differences our own candidates have. So when we have a nominee, I think they're going to be able to put pressure on Trump on healthcare. And again, if we don't win that debate, we don't deserve to win the White House, and we're not going to win the White House.
Will this be a one or two candidate Democratic race after Super Tuesday?
Well, ultimately, it's going to be candidates looking themselves in the mirrors and being honest about their positioning. If it is more than a two-candidate race, certainly if it's a 4 or 5 candidate race, Bernie Sanders can walk to the nomination getting 35, 36, 37% of the vote. Yeah. So the question is, everyone, particularly when some people have money, they've got support, they've got money. As James said, it's really hard to end a campaign. You're competitive, you're out there, I've got another set of contests. But if you don't have a pathway to a credible delegate argument that you can be the nominee, I think you have to get out. Who's that person going to be? We're going to learn a lot in the next 2 weeks. Bloomberg's got all the money to go all the way to June, if not July. I think it'll be the candidate that shows
That scared the shit out of me. Hearing my name and Bloomberg in the same sentence, that scared me.
Showed some of that tonight in Nevada. We'll see if he can carry that forward.
Why are they pretending it's not obvious at this point who is winning?
Brian, if it's March 3rd,
I'm sorry. It's very obvious. I'm sure I shouldn't make predictions or whatever, but
Bernie's going to win almost all the delegates he needs to build an impenetrable delegate lead. That's just math. It's not my opinion. It's just simple math.
David Plouffe with the simple math. Not so simple for some of the folks in this race, however. Those searching for a metaphor, Las Vegas awoke to some cloudy skies, and then they got very dark indeed over the past couple of minutes. They are now breaking up, and the late afternoon sun is showing, and the skies have cleared. Pay no attention to this thing behind us. It's as fake as many of the facades along the Strip, quite frankly. But we've just passed the top of the 7 p.m.
What was that?
On the East Coast of the United States.
Something going on in MSNBC over there? Pay no attention to the background. It's fake. Just like a lot of the facades around here.
Democratic Caucuses. Steve Kornacki with the very latest numbers at the board.
What's that? Are they okay?
State party starting to report these out. This is what we saw the last time we checked in. What's different is we are now starting to get these broken out by county across the state here. You see different colors for the leaders here. Again, this is 28
some shade on Vegas.
2,100 that
it was about Vegas. Okay.
And as I've been saying, the thing to look at here is when all the votes finally are in these two counties that I'm circling. This is Clark County down here, Las Vegas area. This is Washoe County. This is Reno. This is Sparks. These are going to be like 90% of all the votes that are cast. This whole area outside of those two counties is going to add up to about 10%. What you're actually seeing here, since it's only 28 counties, 28
this is sports. This is sports for politics nerds. I am sitting here watching numbers.
Only a couple of precincts.
I am on the edge of my seat watching.
I'm taking a look. I got my Clark County map down here.
Numbers. What is my life?
Not the precincts that we expected Sanders to be doing really well in here. So in fact, you actually see Biden leading in Clark County among those. So this is a very unrepresentative sample of the state. We are waiting and hoping for more to be coming in. This process has been a little bit disjointed, as you can see, the different levels of reporting. But this is the official one. The one from the state party. They've got 28 of 2,100 precincts that are in right now. We're starting to get them by county by county. That wasn't the case a couple minutes ago. And again, I'm sounding like a broken record here, but we are hoping, Brian, in the next couple minutes that this thing is going to be filling in a lot more substantially.
They're still at 1%. Is some shit going on again?
And friends in New York.
Is that what's happening?
Former Senator Claire McCaskill rejoined us, Robert Gibbs, and Joshua Johnson. Robert Gibbs, I want to ask you about David Plouffe's point about health care. We shouldn't skip over that. Nancy Pelosi, healthcare. Right. The decisive frontrunner in the Democratic primary is someone who's for Medicare for all. How do you square those two?
Well, I think, as David said, Medicare for all
still
makes
at 1%.
that argument much more complicated. I think if you watch the 2018 elections as a Democratic strategist and you were walking into the 2020 elections,
wait, we're at 3%.
Medicare for all or this public option
why is
replaced with
MSNBC saying we're at 1?
That's quite frankly one.
Biden position.
That's what drew. Well, yeah, I mean that's what drew those white suburban women that David was also talking about.
I got a
into
taco
the
salad.
Democratic fold, and got
this
them
is now
it's a kitchen table issue.
a mukbang.
I think that's. I agree with everything David said.
in terms of Bernie Sanders, if he's the nominee, is going to have to make a broader health care
Political
because in
mukbangs.
reality, Medicare for all,
Guys, this is a thing
is
now.
not going to be
This is a new
debated
genre on
anytime soon.
YouTube. We watch MSNBC and we
under
eat
President
food.
Bernie Sanders, right? Because quite frankly, the Senate isn't going to take it up. And certainly if it's Mitch McConnell's U.S. Senate, it's not going to happen. So then the question is, what's next? And so again, I think that's going to be on him. Another point I think David made that was really smart was this is the first state that is voting that isn't 90+% white for Democratic voters. This is a state that looks far more like the country and quite frankly a lot of what's coming. The 4 biggest prizes on Super Tuesday
Look like about it. We're going to listen to Amy Klobuchar and pick this up on the other side.
Oh God, no, why? I'm eating.
I was laughing. I came by and I saw someone's shirt over here, and it says, "This isn't flyover country to me. I live here." So I want to, first of all, thank our great speakers today. Peggy Flanagan, our Lieutenant Governor, who we adore. She's been campaigning for me all over the country. As you know, the highest ranking American Indian elected to statewide office in the country. And we're really proud of her. Beirut, thank you. Where are you so much for the beautiful words? Our mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry, thank you. And what an honor to have David Wellstone here with us.
I'm sorry, this might be mean, but I cannot imagine this person being our president on her voice alone.
On mental health. I see him in Congress all the time, and I think you all know there's one reason I picked the
Could you imagine?
For our signs and our shirts, and that is Paul Wellstone.
I'm sorry. No, Amy. Honey, go home.
As you all know, Senator Wellstone was not expected to win. He was not expected because he was running against someone who had a bigger bank account, right? Who was more well-known. And he literally floored the country. And that is exactly what we're going to do in this campaign.
So Amy Klobuchar, if you guys didn't know, she's actually probably the biggest war hawk in this race.
We left Nevada.
As far as I know, she doesn't even want to pull troops out.
But it was beautiful all week, and we
So honestly, I don't really feel that bad making fun of her voice.
We have a great team down there, still working hard. They're counting the votes. But as usual, I think we have exceeded expectations. I always note that a lot of people didn't even think that I would still be standing at this point. They didn't think I'd make it through that speech in the snow. They didn't think I'd make it to the debate floor. But time and time again, because of all of you and because of the people around this country that want something different than the guy in the White House, we have won. So I want you to know, first of all, our itinerary. We are headed, of course, to South Carolina. But on the way tomorrow, we are going to Fargo. I challenge my opponents to do a rally in Fargo. We are doing one. We're pretty excited about that. We are then going to Little Rock. We are then going to Oklahoma City. And then we go to South Carolina. So that is our plan. And I think you all know that not only is South Carolina an important state and where we're going to have the next debate, but from there we go to Super Tuesday. And 1/3 of America is going to be voting. And guess what one of the Super Tuesday states is? That's right. So John and I actually went and voted today, and I was actually amazed at all the people there.
Can they vote for themselves?
On Saturday, voting early, and so we recommend everyone vote early, but not often.
Do you think Amy Klobuchar voted for herself?
Thank you for doing that. And I would say, first of all, I think that People are starting to see that in today's politics, and this
Would
really
you
came to
vote
us
for
out
yourself?
of New Hampshire, where the nation discovered me in a big way for the first time. That empathy, humility, decency matter, and that we have that in spades,
I feel
and
like that
also
feels
the
so
toughness
weird.
to beat Donald Trump. And because of you, we have proved the naysayers wrong every single time. Because of you, we have built a campaign as strong and resilient as the hard-working Americans of our country. Because of you, we're going to turn back the division and the exclusion, the meanness and the hate, and defeat
Girl,
Donald
you throw
Trump this
staplers and binders at your employees. Abusive Amy. If Amy was the nominee, Trump would call her Abusive Amy. She'd cry.
Trump is to be
and then it'd be
just
over.
as polarizing. Could you say that again? Okay. And I think what we know is this, that Donald Trump's worst nightmare is that the people in the middle, the people that are tired of the mudslinging and the name-calling will have a place to call home this November.
No name calling, no. The people who are tired of the name calling.
So if you're working 2 jobs but still struggling to choose between medicine and rent, you have a home with me. If you're frightened for your kids' safety and sick of NRA lobbyists blocking gun violence laws, then you have a home with me. If you're trying to raise a family and tired of corporate titans lining their pockets while you are sewing the holes in yours, you have a home with me. And if you think it is shameful that an American can be stopped and profiled because of the color of his skin, if you're
Bloomberg shout out here.
sick of a president that sees diversity as a weakness rather than our country's great strength, then you have a home with me. And there is something else that I've been fighting for, and that is to bring heart back to the White House. To restore that basic empathy, that fundamental decency that's been under siege since this president wrote his first
Someone's like, June, turn this shit off. I know. Do we like not want to watch this?
I'm talking about
I'm
a
like
president who bragged about the size of his rallies while visiting a Texas hospital after a gunman killed 22 people at a local Walmart. I'm talking about a president who sided with the murderous dictator Kim Jong-un after a 22-year-old American student died in North Korea in their custody for trying to take a poster from a hotel. I'm talking about a president who separated innocent immigrant children from their parents and tried to deny them toothbrushes and soap and showers, and then said, and I quote, "You have to take the children away." Well, you can quote me on this. We have to take this president away.
She's like cute. Like part of me thinks Amy Klobuchar is cute, and I hate that part of me. But she's just...
And if you think we can't do it, if you think that we don't have the grit, the resilience to turn the page on the racism, on the sexism, on the cronyism,
Turn the page on the racism.
Just remember that the day after this president took office, millions of people marched in protest all across this country, including in this city, including where I'm going tomorrow, to North Dakota, and to Oklahoma, and to Arkansas, and to South Carolina. And then what happened? Thousands of women signed up to run for office. We were not just.
I'm sorry, but I can't. We're gonna have to mute this for now. Someone said go back to CNN. Yeah, you're right. Why are they showing so much? Why are they showing this like so much? Why do we have to see her whole thing? I was watching MSNBC, CNN earlier, and they showed like half of Bernie's speech, and then they just cut out. We're watching Amy's entire speech here? I don't know, man. Let me try to find... Oops, fuck. Nope, that's MSNBC. Oh my god, I'm such a boomer. Here we go.
You ever wish you weren't a motor?
Sure. Sometimes I wish I had legs like you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
How are we
regular
gonna do
person.
this?
No. Still have bike half man. Just the opposite.
What's the legs on the bottom and motorcycle on the top? Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
For those who were born to ride, there's Progressive.
When managing diabetes, you can't always stop for
One second, guys. Please don't
Freestyle
leave.
Libre 14-day system
No!
continuous glucose monitor. You don't have to. With a painless 1-second scan, you can check your glucose with a smartphone or reader, so you
Okay.
can stay in the moment,
Okay.
no matter
Okay.
where you are or what you're doing. Ask your doctor for a prescription for the Freestyle Libre 14-day system. You can do it without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
When you have pain, you want relief fast. Only Thermacare Ultra Pain Relieving Cream has 4 active ingredients to fight pain 4 different ways. Get powerful relief today with Thermacare.
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Inside the Royal
Da-na-na-na-na-na. We're doing it. Da-na-na.
Live from Charleston, days before the South Carolina primary. Bloomberg's first town hall, plus Sanders, Buttigieg, Biden,
Fuck.
Klobuchar.
Guys, I hate OBS.
CNN event, 6 presidential town halls, starting Monday night at 8, only on CNN.
This is cellulose acetate, a plant-based material that's not only extremely durable, but also quite flexible, making it ideal for Warby Parker glasses, which, by the way, start at $95,
All right.
including prescription lenses. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com. Oh yeah,
I did it.
Without those prescription lenses, Warby Parker glasses come standard with custom-cut polycarbonate lenses that have been treated with scratch-resistant and anti-reflective
Well, now we're just watching
coatings.
ads.
Nice.
Like, there's no
Try 5
escape.
pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have business.
Oh my god, MSNBC is still on
lives.
Amy's thing.
They use stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer.
Fuck, what am I
Services
doing?
of the post office, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer, a 4-week trial plus postage.
Guys.
And digital scale. Go to stamps.com
This is-
/try and never go to the post office again.
That's it. Okay, hold on. Oh my god, I'm going to go fucking insane. I have so many different windows open right now. Okay.
Call 1-800-710-0020. Do you have an idea for an invention? Call today for free information. Call 800-710-0020.
Where's the sound coming from?
All right, let's get to another key race alert right now. Take a look at this. 10% of the
Oh my god. Guys, please be patient. Okay. Here's MSNBC. This, I don't need this. Go away. Okay, that's MSNBC. That's that. No, that's CNN. Okay, this is MSNBC. Guys, where the fuck? There's CNN. Okay, okay. Maybe we could do this. No, that's this. Oh my god, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I'm gonna give up. I'm straight up giving up. Oh my god, I'm going crazy. I can't do there. Okay, which channel do you want? MSNBC or CNN? Oh my god, there are 6,000 people here! Why are there 6,000 people here? I wanted this to be a nice, calm, relaxed, chill stream where I don't have to deal with technology. And here we are. Why is this graphic here? What do you... I don't want this here. Thank you. Okay. So here's MSNBC. There are currently 2 MSNBCs on my screen. This is a nightmare world. I would rather not have this. So what we're going to do is we're going to... There we go. Oh my god, I think I did it. Okay. Okay. And then this goes there. And this turns smaller. This is fucking impossible. This is why I don't stream. This is why I don't. It's just too much, like, shit to deal with, and also I hate being live because I'm not funny or entertaining. Okay. Okay, so there's CNN. And when we close it, we should get MSNBC. So, I think I did it.
Get it right. Remember, one of the Iowa lessons, it isn't just about how do we avoid the app and get the results out. Remember, Iowa is under a recount right now. There were some discrepancies in what was being reported. So Nevada, the Democratic Party there, has really tried to learn the lessons.
I am so sorry. We did it.
It's not just the reporting structure, it's also the quality control, making sure what they report is 100% accurate.
Is the delay
and now my fan is like overheating.
The result of some of the new rules that are in place right now in Nevada?
Well, the fact that we are now getting new information that
guys, this is why I don't stream. This is why I don't stream. I'm technology. Did you hear that shit? Technology. Incompetent.
That was not what was scenario. So that's part of a rule change.
My laptop's overheating. I don't know how to work OBS.
But again, I'm being told there's real.
Who is this
inside the party right now? There is no panic at the moment. They're not alarmed. This is going right now according to what they expected, is what they're telling us.
We'll watch it together with you. Hopefully they'll get everything in order. We want those numbers to be precise. That's most important, even if it takes a little bit longer.
And now there's a lag.
Some caucuses
see?
Actually ended in ties, and the winners were decided.
Why do I bother?
Now, with the draw of cards. We're going to show that to you when we come back.
Okay. Okay. Let's just look at these numbers. Let's just look at numbers, right? Numbers are quiet. Numbers are fun. We'll just look at numbers. That's nice, right? Numbers. Numbers don't lag. Numbers don't overheat. Just good old numbers. Alright. So, ooh, what percentage are we at? 4%. I'm not streaming this whole thing. I'm not doing it. We are at 4%. Look how much Bernie has at 4%. That's insane. Someone said close tabs. But all the tabs I have open are the... Okay, I don't know. I only have like 2 tabs open. Okay. My laptop is actually like nuclear hot right now. Close all background programs. The background programs are closed. Literally OBS and the internet are the only things that are open. My laptop just is like it can't handle normal things. I think just because I don't know, I cleaned it. Like I cleaned, not physically. Maybe I have to physically clean like the fans. But there's a lot of memory and stuff left. Oh my god, is it that bad? Put laptop in freezer. I fucking nightmare world. Okay, you know what? I don't know. Would you rather watch MSNBC or would you rather watch me slowly dying, trying very hard to do a stream? Those are your only 2 choices in life. Why are any of you still watching? There are still 6,000 people here. Fucking what? Fox. Someone said put on Fox. Is Fox even covering the caucuses? Okay.
Structured so we do better when our clients do better. Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Do you hear that static? Do you hear, guys, I might have to just stop the stream. This is just, do you hear that? First I'm gonna read super chats, and then I'm probably gonna stop, because this is just, I can't do this all night. I planned on doing it all night, and my computer probably is gonna overheat and die. Okay. Okay. Just ridiculous. This is my life. Okay.
Silly. Cambridge, the anniversary. Cambridge for all of us. You can Cambridge just about anything.
Alright, guys. I'm going to read super chats, okay? Wait. Let's throw this up there so we have something to look at. Okay. Because this isn't working out. Okay, Flip Probaps says this is working fine. A+, can't hear fan. Thank you very much. Supa Bam Bam for $2 said, we are just memeing on your trash laptop. It's okay. Well, that didn't age bad. That didn't age good, so. Xylo for $10. Thank you very much. Oh, $10 in British. What is that? 10 shillings. Thank you very much. Get nay establishment, yes. Triangulus for $2 Canadian. In my opinion, Klobuchar is the least interesting candidate. Yes, I agree. She's not interesting at all. Nuptup for $5 says, these numbers are not official numbers. No official numbers released yet. There are problems with reporting numbers. Yeah, that's how it always is. This is just ridiculous. My ceiling is vibrating. Okay, very normal. Doggo for $10, thank you very much, says, love your content and makes work a lot more fun. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Triangulus says again, genuinely, that superdelegate thing creeps me out. Yeah, same. Nutsibus Alpacus. Guys, these names. Guys, these fucking names. Hey, June. Hello, Natsibus Alcabus. Hello. Illusion Cubes for $2. Not enough marketing. I need more ads. Yeah, right. Nuptup for $2 says superdelegates don't vote in first round. Yeah, now they don't. They used to. And then Bernie complained to the manager because it was so unfair. So they were like, okay, now superdelegates only vote in the second. Which doesn't make it any better. Rudolph Reichtipin for $10 says, watch your video on Billion Bloom and immediately got ads for him on Instagram. Yeah, I hate when that happens. It's spooky. Fat Kid for $5 says, sings, I have structured settlement and I need cash now. Yeah. Call 877 cash now. Goddamn. Commercials have rotten our brain. Stefan for $5, thanks for doing this. Well, you're welcome, but it didn't work out. Sai Sungus for $5 says, this is what the DNC gets for 2016. Libs mad times 55. Yeah. Kenneth Owagard for $10 says, I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you for trying to educate on politics. Well, you guys are watching me be educated in real time too. Like, obviously, I'm not like extremely knowledgeable in the things I say. And like I say, this is like entry electoral politics. I'm very interested in it and it's fun. So, I like to take you on the journey with me. Aiden for 50 sec said, what's the chance they do a voice vote to steal it? It would be pretty funny. Oh god, that would be the worst thing ever. Thank you for all the great content. Oh, thank you. Very sweet of you. Ernest Blores for $5 says, good night from France. Hope Bernie wins. Thank you. That is foreign intervention in our elections, sir. Dangle Blampy for $5 says, Nevada is pronounced both ways. Don't let any fools tell you any differently. Yeah. Libertarian Jaguar says, are you from Jersey? Haha, no, I'm from Long Island. Pretty much the same thing. Honestly. Kenneth Ogard says, Nevada. Yes, Nevada. Everyone in my video about the Nevada caucus was saying I was saying it wrong, so I got like so many comments about how I'm saying it wrong. Jur for $2 says, you're saying it right. Love your posts on Twitter. Thank you very much. Xanderhall. Oh, hello, Xanderhall. Hey, June. Thanks for giving me refuge from my Mayo Pete worshipping CNN watching family. God, that sounds like a nightmare. Thank you very much. Robert Donham for $2 says, love you, June. Thank you. Mike Cohen for $2 says, Fox saying Bernie won. That's the thing. Fox News, guys. Fox News is more fair to Bernie than MSNBC or CNN combined. Like, they actually give him fair coverage when they're not doing their, like, you know, three houses, communism or whatever. When they're not doing the whole, like, boomer bumper sticker song and dance, they actually cover him very fairly, and they cover the DNC shit very fairly. And there's actually a study that came out that said Bernie supporters mostly watch Fox News and not CNN. It's like people who watch Fox News more likely to support Bernie than people who watch CNN. So that's not surprising. It's just hell world. We live in the upside down. I don't know what is going on. Jer for $5 says, Bloom isn't on the ballot. Also, thank you for all your activism. Appreciate your Twitter humor. Also, it's Nevada. Nevada. Nevada? Get out of here. That's not a thing. You're lying. Kay Lebraha for $10. Thank you very much. An NDA even makes no sense, especially when they're filming it and broadcasting. They don't want the volunteers to speak their side if anything happens. Yeah, having an NDA for something like a caucus, like voting, is just very strange to me. Very sketchy. Triple Keck for $5. What's your thoughts on CNN saying Russia's helping Bernie? It's just fear-mongering and just wine mom porn, basically, because now they can be like, Bernie's a Russian asset. They've been saying that forever, but now they have proof. Jordan Allen, $3, sent a little sticker. Thank you very much. Emma Ramirez, it's super easy to Google for an MSNBC stream, to be honest. No, like, I don't get MSNBC. I tried it. Even on their site and stuff, it doesn't come out, but I don't know why. Aiden for 50 sec. If Russia is helping Bernie, does that cancel the help Trump gets from Russia? You heard them describe it earlier. They described it as, when Russia helps Trump, they want Trump to win, but when Russia helps Bernie, they just want everyone to fight. Like, they just pulled that out of their ass. Like, that's the narrative they're going with, I guess. But thank you. Kelvin Thompson for $2. Blonde woman is the Harley Quinn of the panel. Yes. MTPK for $5. Guillotines for the neolibs and the DNC. Hashtag French Revolution 2020. No, but unless. We don't know. I'm just kidding. Unless. Okay. Razor Man for $2 says, Bernie got a delegate via card draw in my district. Oh, that's good. Pete got one from what I watched. Like, why are we using cards? Why are we using cards and coins to do something as important as giving delegates? I don't understand. Jed Mullet, 77 for $5. When is CNN going to start blaming Bernie's huge lead on Russia? They already did it. They're already saying that Russia's helping his campaign. So that's probably going to be a thing. Scott Mather for $2. I've heard that Bernie Sanders has a big caucus. That's dirty, sir. We do not lewd the Bernard. Babs Frick for $5. Bolshevik Bernie exposed. Yeah. Short Fat Utaku for $5. Thank you very much. Bernie knew. The hashtag Bernie knew made Christy Winters orgasm for the first time in 30 years. Also, thank you for listening to me before Shu. Helped me quite a bit. Thank you. You're a good friend, Short Fat Otaku. Thank you very much. Trendling. Guys, I have my glasses on and I'm still blind. That's how blind I am. I can't see. Trendling69 says, I'm happy to have you with us as Bernie wins. Yes, you too. Thank you, Bernard brethren. Monster Fueled for $5 say, please say hi to Ollie for me. Ooh, I can go get him. He's in his little room. I'll get him for you. Xylo for $2 says, Wired said it best. Russia wants to spread chaos. Is that what you believe? Probably. I don't know if their influence is that powerful. I really don't. I think it's overblown. I think it's another Red Scare. Jason Choi for $2 says, hell no, Mueller report showed zero proof. Yeah, that's what I heard. Red Star Undead for $10. I'm scared to celebrate too early. The DNC will keep trying to screw Bernie over, and there's still a long way to go. Regarding the Russians, it does seem like a convenient scapegoat. Yeah, I agree with all of that. Yeah, no, I don't celebrate much, ever. I don't have any hope. I'm completely black-pilled. So there's no hype ever, even when Bernie's soaring in the polls and everything. I'm just like, yeah, that's nice. Like, I try to keep the hype to a minimum, because as we've seen before, it has the potential to not last. So Jason Choi for $2. By the way, Russia wanted Obama to win in 2008 and 2012. Yeah, Russia always picks a candidate. Yeah. It's never Hillary Clinton, though. That's weird. Jared for $5. June, I run a large Bernie group on Facebook. There is and has been pro-Trump interference from Russia and other countries. I've seen it firsthand. That's interesting. I've never seen like a anecdotal experience of that. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I knew that there's like Russians posting memes on Facebook. Trevor Miller for $5 said no, he's a president. Yeah. Jetty Mullet 77 for $5. DNC equals do not count. On and democracy not allowed. Blaming Russia came directly from the Hillary camp. Yeah. Canalis for $2. Do you watch Kim Everson? Yes, I do. She's one of my favorite people. I think she was a big influence for me to start Brainlit. Her, Kyle Klinsky, Jimmy Dore, 3 of them made me be like, I have a lot to say. I'm really angry. I'm gonna do what they do, but I'm gonna be terrible at it. That was like that was the influence. Monocle Squid for $2 says, my wife doesn't like when I shoot so many blacks. That's in quotes. I don't know. That was probably something earlier in the stream that I missed. Mr. Flesh for $5 says, bruh. Jack Bacon for $5 says, I think Hillary wanted to go to war with Russia, but she lost, so she invented a story to contrive conflict. That's an interesting theory. Choppy Tooth says, would you ever go on the Joe Rogan podcast? I am not interesting enough for a Joe Rogan episode. Chris B for $10 says, please Yang run. Yeah, Yang is planning on running in 2024, I think. Thomas Mumford for $5. Putin believes every American should have healthcare as a human right. Putin 2020, yeah, right? These Russians have pretty good taste in candidates for the most part. Jacques Rossier for $5 says, thanks for the videos. Thank you for watching. Reagan Smash for $5 says, personally, I would choose Ro Khanna for VP, but Nina Turner would certainly be a good choice. Yeah, I like both of them. I'm sure Bernie will make a good decision. I hope so. Ben Riley for $2 says, why is Yang on CNN? He sold out quick. People are saying Yang sold out, but I think I see this as a good thing. The more people they hire for the network that aren't like, you know, just deep in that establishment hackery, the better, because he'll get to like voice his opinions, that people will see like a different side. I don't know. I don't think that's selling out. Do you guys think it's selling out that Yang is on CNN now? I don't know. I don't see it as selling out. Nish Sound says, greetings from Zurich, Switzerland. Hello. Hinga-dinga-derman. How are you? Is that racist? Switzerland. Hinga-dinga-derban. Chris V says, hell yeah, Yang VP. Yeah, Yang would be an interesting VP. I think he'd be a good VP. He's very, like, he has a lot of personality and stuff, but a lot of people really like Yang. I feel bad that he dropped out, but he's gonna run again. Chris B for $5. Like, we have Bloomberg, but we don't have Yang. What a world. Chris B for $5. If it's Bloomberg as the nominee, take the time to write in Bernie. Yep, that's a good plan. Or third party to show that third party people are valid. Douche Canoe for $5. Take my youth juice. Harley Stout said a bunch of stuff in Russian. Ah yes, comrade. Thank you for the super chat. We attack at dawn. Flip Props for $5 says, I was canvassing for Bernie today in College Station, Texas. Bloomberg had paid staff everywhere. He flew them in, got them hotels, paid $200 a day. Oh my god. That is amazing. That's what money gets you. He's a billion. He has so much money. $200 to Bloomberg is like half a penny. It's like nothing. That's insane. That's scary. Ben Riley for $2. 300K of 60 billion equals 0.00005 of his net worth. Oh god, net worth. Some Russian name. Mikachayev Zigavaka, oh my god. For $10, Google blood libel, anti-Semitic stereotype. Oh yeah, I didn't know. Bloomberg's just like this creepy billionaire who was in Jeffrey Epstein's Black Book. I did not know that drinking blood was an anti-Semitic trope, so we learn something new every day. Curious Cretin, foreign policy is Burns' biggest challenge. I think he's really good at it, but he doesn't talk about it enough. He needs to talk about it more because it's, again, like a bipartisan thing to be like war bad, you know? His foreign policy is very, 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 very similar to Tulsi's. Sage and Fool for $5. At the hour mark of Status Coup in Nevada vid, they announced that Chris Matthews just said, maybe the Dems would be better off with Trump. Of course Chris Matthews said it. That guy is so unhinged. Oh my god, another Chris Matthews thing. Aingbling2000 says, for $5, Chris Matthews just compared Sanders' win tonight to France falling to the Nazis. And we're not allowed to talk back to these people. These people can go on MSNBC, CNN, they can make articles, and they have all this power and influence over people. But if we dare post a meme to them, it's Bernie Bros are terrible fucking brown shirts. Incredible. Incredible. Javel says, did you see Bloomberg flying on stage like Mary Poppins? Yes, I did. Chris JJJ for $2 says, boomer moment. Thank you, Penazizim, who gave me $2. Thank you very much. Tyrick Wright for $2 says, the Russians are interfering with our elections. Doubt. Reno Bino says, won't somebody think of the wine moms? Yeah. Faulty Logic says, keep moving those goalposts. Yeah, they won't stop. Tony Montana says, we in Russia want Bloomberg. He's our candidate. Well, there you have it. And he gave me 100 rubies. Tony Montana over here, 100 rubies, said, we in Russia want Bloomberg to win. Where's NBC with that? Huh? Right there. We got proof. E. Muller for $5. Pete Small PB. Chris JJ for $2. Math is hardcore. Lewis's for $20. Greetings from Brazil. Feel the burn. Lula Lavere. Oh yes. Thank you, Bernard Brethren in Brazil. Donald S for $666. Nice. Hell World. Very appropriate. Big Red Tank for $2. What do you think of Russia helping Bernie? It's just what they always do with like every candidate. Chris of Eric said mukbang, MSNBC, and cringe. Yep. Juniversity for $5. Where are all the Bloomberg ads? 010 would not frisk again. Harish 2309. The revolution has begun. Skylar Lucas for $5. No one at my job understands why I get excited about watching politics, lol, but this is like football to my nerd political brain. It really is. Yonan for $2. Oh god, mute this please. Yeah, that was Amy Klobuchar. I'm so sorry we let that Amy Klobuchar clip run for so long. Ross Cuth for $2. Watching from Scotland, cheering for Bernie. Nice. Husk for $5. I don't know if I'd vote for myself. On one hand, I think I'm better than everyone. But on the other hand, I hate myself, so I don't know. Yeah, exactly. The duality of man. Derek Bolanger for $5 says, if you like throwing staplers at your employees, then you have a home with me. Cloud Bouchard 2020. Yep. Rahanan Bivan for $2. Mudslinging is better than staple slinging. Yep. Aiden for 50 sec. I would not vote for myself. Someone running should not be allowed to vote. I think everyone should be allowed to vote. Like, if you're an American citizen, you should be allowed to vote. Period. Like, that is your right as an American citizen. The Black Blur for $5. June, it's considered anti-Semitic because a rabbi sucks the blood out of a baby's weenie after circumcision to cleanse the wound. Oh, okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, I will not say that Bloomberg drinks child blood. I'm very sorry about that. I'm very sorry. Daniel Marson for $2. I predict the Dem nominee will be Trump. Right, they're gonna run Trump just to defeat Bernie. Tempera Online for $2 says, is it raining or static? That was my laptop heating up. I am very sorry. Ooh. What happened? Hold on. I lost where I was. Okay. Abject permanence. This live stream is going well. Yeah, I'm so sorry. This is why I don't stream. I'm just incompetent when it comes to technology. Just terrible at it. Brian for $5. Close your tabs and other windows, for fuck's sake, you dumb. You have like 5 live streams running at once, lol. I don't. I have OBS and I have MSNBC and CNN open. And that's about it. That was like nothing. Shazui for 100 RSD. Here's 100 Serbian dinars. Go buy a laptop. Thank you. Maybe I should. No, I just gotta clean this one. This is new. I got it like last year. Brand new. I don't know what's going on. Kenneth Oegard, F for laptop. Yeah, I'm sorry. Ilas Karululi for 100 rubies. 10 rubies for our comrades in America. Thank you very much. Cassie Adams for $2. Would send more, but I'm donating to Bernie. Thank you. Please give your money to Bernie's campaign and not me. That's a good idea. The Wookie 454 for $5 says, close the extra 6 MSNBC streams. Do I have 6 MSNBC streams open? I don't think I did. That's a freaking nightmare. Everyone's telling me to close the streams I have. Isla saying close the streams. John Doe, F for laptop. Washup25 says, June, do you think Bernie will go on meme review after Felix called him on? I think Bernie's too busy right now. If PewDiePie would have asked him earlier, I think there would have been a chance. But right now, with all this shit going on and Super Tuesday and this caucus and everything, there's no way Bernie's gonna appear on fucking PewDiePie. I'm sorry. That would be hilarious, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Elon Soft for $2. Notice how Boomerberg isn't even in this caucus. Yeah, he comes in on Tuesday. Shisui for $2.50 RSD. Here's more Eastern European monies for all our Bernard brothers. Thank you very much. Thank you, I appreciate it. Sidifeed for $1, thank you. Maria White, F for laptop, buy a new one with our shekels. I will clean my laptop and I will spend your shekels on more taco salads and donating to Bernie. No, but I will definitely try to fix this because streaming should be fun. I know that I'm going to be talking to my Discord later tonight, so, and a lot of those people are mods, who will be mods in the chat. As soon as I get all this shit together, are gonna be mods, so that's cool. Also, if you're not donating to my Discord, or not donating to my Patreon, and if you want to come hang out in my Discord, think about it, but if you're poor and you can't afford it, please don't do it. Please spend your money elsewhere. I hate when people are like in my fucking Discord like, help, I can't afford, or they're talking to people like, haha, I can't afford food today, haha, and I'm like, why the fuck are you here then? Leave. Like, I appreciate it, but leave. I'm not Elizabeth Warren. Did you guys see those screen caps I took of Elizabeth Warren? People are like, Elizabeth, I'm starving. I have no money for food and I donated my last $3 for you. And Elizabeth is like, oh, thank you, sweetie. I would be like, no, don't do that. It's really funny. Christian Kardarth, Hey June, thanks for some fun info. Would you vote Biden-Warren if they end up winning the Dem Pride? Oh my god. Cheers from a Danish Trump supporter. Oh, that would be painful, but Biden at worst would be just another Obama, and like nothing would change. We would still live in the neoliberal hellhole, but it would just be another Obama, and like I could deal with that. There are a lot of people who literally need healthcare and shit who wouldn't be able to deal with that, but I'd be fine. Whoever wins. Trump could fucking win again. Anyone could win, and I would be fine, but that's not why I'm voting. I'm voting for the people who aren't fine. I'm just sitting here on my privileged ass. Unironic privileged ass. It doesn't matter, but fucking it sucks for other people. That's why I vote for Bernard. And also to own the libs. Vote for Bernard to own the libs. Justice Smelly for $5. I think Trump beats Sanders, but it's gonna be a hilarious election cycle. I love your content, but it lets me see the other side, even if I disagree. Yeah, I don't know who will win. I'm not making any predictions. For the primaries, I think Bernie's gonna win, but for the general, I don't know, because it's already rare that a president doesn't have 2 terms. Like, it's already an extremely rare thing. And he has a very, like, supportive base. Like, every conservative in the fucking country supports him. Meanwhile, the Democrats, they're all split. There's so many Bernie haters. It's all the wine moms and stuff. So, it's, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Mitchell Dunn, for $7. Some reporting that the Nevada caucus leaders are denying entry to Bernie supporters. Great, awesome, that's great to hear, great news. Ted Comet for $2 says, is Joe Biden his time? Okay. Nobunga for $2, MSNBC, Navida, Russian hoax, Red Scare. Alita for $2, first time voting, I hope my vote makes a difference. Every vote makes a difference. You probably feel like it doesn't, especially with all this bullshit happening, but it does. I suggest voting. Even if you're totally against and you think it won't help, just do it anyway. Take a few minutes out of your day or an hour out of your day. I just got a text message from Bernard. Bernie Sanders won Nevada. Is this true? Is that updated? Or is that just... Oh, it's just a campaign thing. Okay, I don't know. There's so many of these things. Hold on. Blind by light. Let's see if the DNC tries to meddle this time. I don't know. They gave non-disclosure things to people, so that's really sketchy. Christ724. How can you support a Bolsheviks? Do you want America to turn into Vuvuzela? Also misogyny and anti-Semitism, etc., etc. Thank you. Heavy Cream for $2. Yang for VP/cabinet. Or mayoral governmental. I don't know. Yang in somewhere in the cabinet would be great. Nobunga for $2. Read some Stephen F. Cohen about Russiagate. Perhaps I shall. I don't know who that is. Ralph Facero for $2. 10. Thank you. Capentine for $5. Definitely check out Kim Everson. She's like a very adult version of Shu. She's like a hat, actually. Yeah, Kim is awesome. I love her. She is like smarter. She's like me if I was on ADHD medication, knew how to speak, and was more involved in politics. So couldn't give her more of a shout out. Lucas Wagner for $2. When is Skeptic getting an OnlyFans? Oh my god, he always jokes about how he's like, you know, if things don't work out, I'm always just gonna be a cam whore. It's like, oh my god, babe, no. Chase for $2. Collab with Secular Talk. That would be cool, but I don't know what we would collab on. Noah East for $2. June Vox called the race. I don't know what that means. The Gamer on stream for $2. I'm watching the VR and using my phone to comment. Cool. Asian RTS Gaming for $20. Thank you very much. Honestly, I have no issue if another country would voice an opinion of who they would prefer, as long as they do it legally, in which Russia may be doing it legally. Additionally, I will probably vote for Trump currently. You should rethink that, but I'm not going to force you to do anything. Yet. I have a knife under the table. I'm not going to force you to do anything. Acid Green for 50 sec. I don't think Yang is a sellout. If he turns into a shill, which I highly doubt, he will be. But otherwise, he might make CNN better. Yes, that's how I feel too. AMG for $5. Thank you. Hillary is like Palpatine. You think she's dead, but then she shows up in a necromorph form to ruin everything. Thank you. That is very true. Couldn't have said it better. Application sell for $5. My contact in Moscow says if Bernie wins, Chris Matthews is getting a one-way trip to Central Park. Jewish, Russian, Nazi, communists rise up. Yep. Ted Comment for $5. I was wondering about how you feel about creepy Uncle Joe Biden his time. Yeah, Biden's over. I don't even know if Biden is a threat anymore. He's doing pretty good, but I don't know what happened. Biden just fell off. Oh god, there are so many. I need to get a drink. Oh, there's just so many. There's so many people giving me money. It's such a poor me. Fuck. Let's see. Joe Mogdragon for $2 says, "Where is the shoe? I was promised a shoe on head." This is brainlet, sir. You get a brainlet. Which is me. Kelvin Thompson, Buttigieg looks like a Who from Whoville. So do I. Me and Pete Buttigieg have extremely similar facial features. So, take that as you will. He's a Whoville representative. Ronnie in VA for, wow, $50. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you. Boomer/Gen X soccer mom. Feeling the burn since 1989. Nice! Awesome. So not all Gen X wine moms are a lost cause. We love to see it. Jose Villalaplato for $2 says, "Why is Biden still trying? I don't know. It's a legacy thing." Bernie Sanders, oh thank you sir, for $5. "I'm gonna win all 50 states, but the DNC will still steal it from me." Yep, thank you for joining the stream, sir. Rossos for $20. Thank you very much. Ragan Wolfbane for $2. Would you talk on Secular Talk with Kyle? Sure, if he wants me to. I don't know what we would talk about, though. Brian for $5. Build desktop, level up. Also, Trump 2020. Much love. Murray Manning for $5. Sanders will need to pick a VP as radical as himself, or he will be assassinated. Yeah. It's actually really scary how everybody's, like, saying that, but could be a possibility. We're not going to say that here, though. Not going to happen. No bad vibes here. Mike Bloomberg. Oh, hello. I may not be in this caucus, but I am in this chat. Pick Ladder for $5. Hey, from an Australian Bernie brethren, I love your content. Keep us informed and laughing at this hell world. Thank you. Freak Mashidi for $10. Take my Portuguese 10 and donate it because I can't. I will donate for you. Zacchaeus Lopez for $5. Hey June, big fan. I walk down the street and get called Bernard's whore, not politics, but will you and Greg review Birds of Prey? I kind of like it. Yeah, we need to see it. I can't wait to see it. Face Punch XOXO for $2. I'm from Kentucky, and we have Mitch too. I don't know. I don't understand. Tanner Heaps for $2. Pete said he wants to decriminalize all drugs. Yeah, Pete's drug decriminalization thing is actually pretty rad. I like that. That's good. That's good. He's like to the left of Bernie on drugs, which is surprising. Yang has that same position. I think Tulsi does too. It's like the one like okay thing about Pete. That would help the drug war so much. A lot of things that would help addiction. It sounds scary, though. It sounds scary to be like, decriminalize all drugs, you know? Like, there'll be meth heads running around. Like, that's just really scary, but Portugal did it, and it worked really well for them. So, I don't know. Oh my god, these fucking names. Kamakamaka for $5. I owe you for pulling me out of my Doomerborg to dab on the neolibs and the irredeemably aged. It's all coming up, bros. Yeah. Guys, am I being trolled with these names? Ilas Karahalaloon for 100 rubies. Bernie is actually very popular among young Russians who follow American politics for his progressive policies and his consistency. Yeah, he's well-liked all around the world, but because he's well-liked in Russia, too, that's a problem. Rassus for 500 DKK. As a Danish social democrat, I find Yang's vision is needed, as the SD party has become a force upholding the status quo. We need the counterpart, yeah. It's sad that Yang is gone. He will be back, though. Drax, the Warlock Titan for $2. Nevada. Like bad. Nevada? Shut up, it is not Nevada! You guys are full of shit. Joshua R. Collins for $2. Don't forget about the voice chat in Patreon Discord. Yep, I'm going to be there very soon. As soon as I'm done with this. Dreaming when dreaming becomes risky for $5. Tell Skeptic I'll give him 10 tokens to put shoe on head. I will tell him. Area Man. Tom Steyer gets the guillotine last. Yeah. Someone said, don't bother pronouncing my name, go Bernie. That's Parachikachin 668. Thomas Reed for $5. Have you seen the CNN article about Bernie Sanders just declared war on the Democratic establishment? Look it up. That sounds amazing. That's badass. JM for $2. Sanders Gabbard would be great. Yes, I agree. Kristen Mills for $5. Please give this to Bernie since I can't. I will. I will give it to him. Joe Bob for $5. Delaware really wants a president from Delaware, so it will be the only state Biden wins. All for Delaware. And Aiden for 20 sec. Here is some Swedish money. Donate it to Bernard. So I will wind up donating actually to a lot in all of your name. I will do that. Let me check what the... No, I do not want to update my phone. Let me check what... Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Laundering money, yeah. All these foreign people can't donate to Bernie, so I gotta do it in their name. Okay, guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to end it? Do you want to end it? Are we tired? Are we done? Do you want to watch some coverage? Bernie is streaming. Do you want to go to Bernie? Bernie stream? Let's see what he's saying. Let's see what Bernard is up to. I type him in and his channel doesn't come up. Okay. Here we go.
Man, I'm all about liberation. That's what my life is around. Liberation. And that's what I see. The values in this campaign embody that. that we're seeking out the most vulnerable and making sure they're centered, right? We're making sure that the systems
Bernie
that
stream.
are targeting them are being dismantled. There is nobody else. All the oppressors are afraid of this campaign more than any other campaign. You know why they're afraid? Because they know it's not about me. It's not just about Bernie. It's not just about one of you. It's not just about them. It's about us coming together.
High energy, always high energy.
Okay, to make sure that we leave every situation
The computer fan's gonna go
better
on.
than we found them, and we don't leave anyone out.
Look at that high energy. You look at any other crowd and it's just like,
I know I'm short on time. We got to rush here because something
yay.
exciting is going on here, right? And we want to hear from this man, but I want y'all to take a quick second and close your eyes and think about the people that you're fighting for. Who is the most vulnerable in your life? Who are you fighting for? Think about those people, right? You have them in your mind? You have them in your mind? You have them in your mind? That's who we're fighting for, right? I want y'all to know we are winning.
Who is this dude? I'm not sure who the dude is.
Repeat after me. Repeat after me.
He's doing a good job though.
Y'all ready? This is how we close out our Black Lives Matter meetings with the words of Asada Shakur.
Bernie always has like the most energetic, lively,
we must love and support one another.
Fucking
we have nothing to lose but
things.
our chains. Now hold each other's hand high. Hold them high. Hold them high. And remember that all of our liberation.
Someone said it's Snoop Dogg. Yeah, guys, it's Snoop Dogg. Guys.
Think about the people you're fighting for and say it with me from your gut. Say, it is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support one another.
Look at this fucking guy.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Nothing to lose but our chains, guys. Put your fucking hands up. Everybody in the chat right now. Put your hands up. Close your eyes. Who are you fighting for? Someone said Trump. Who are you fighting for? Trump. Who are you fighting for? Vanilla Ice?
Make sure that we defeat them. Make sure that we defeat them in November. And make sure that we elect Bernie Sanders as the next president of the United States. Let's do this.
Okay, we gotta see when Bernard comes.
Please welcome Dr. Hoka Marquez.
I don't know who Burka Marquez is. She cute. She cute.
Where are my fellow Bernie supporters at?
She cute. Okay. So he won. He won the Iowa caucus. I mean, the fucking. Oh God, I'm so like scarred that I keep saying Iowa caucus. He won the Nevada. He won it.
I see the fire in your eyes, and I love it. I love it. You know, it's that energy and it's that fire that is getting us to organize and do the work and knock on those doors and get people to the polls. How many of you already voted for Senator Sanders? How many of you haven't? Raise your hand. My friends, if you haven't, please take your friends, please take your family to the polls. Let's make the political
Pokemon, go to the polls. Take your family to the
Let's
polls.
show Senator Sanders the strength in our Latinx community. Let's show them that we are about the political revolution. And I see that you've been waiting for this moment for a long time. You've been waiting to hear Senator Sanders speak.
She's quiet.
But you've also been waiting for a change in this country. And that change is coming. and we're all a part of it. So my name is Dr. Hoka Marquez. I'm elected in San Marcos, Texas. Where are my Bobcats at? Go Cats, go! I'm also
I wish I knew what
the
the fuck she was talking about.
co-chair in Texas for the Bernie Sanders campaign.
June subbed to Bernie.
So
Yeah,
I'd
I'm
like
on
to
my
thank the
Brainlit
Bernie
account.
Sanders
I'm not
campaign,
subbed to Bernie on
Senator
Brainlit,
Bernie
but I'm subbed to
Sanders,
on Shoehead, I
Cruz de
guess.
Leon,
I will sub now.
Jose Sayas Caban, and Our Revolution Texas for their continued support. So I've been invited to talk about systems of oppression that have been in place for 500 years in this country. Since the inception of this country, genocide
I
of my
hate the term
indigenous
Latinx.
ancestors.
Apparently not a lot of Latin
Appropriation of
people
land.
even use it, and it's only ever
Enslavement of
used
African people. And the continued
by people who are
violence
like
against marginalized groups that continues
trying to be
inform
extremely
the
inclusive.
policies that we have in our political arena. Racism.
I want her to step on me. Why are all of you like this? Why you all see a woman and your
misogyny
and your immediate thing is I want her to step on me. She's literally talking about misogyny right now, and you people are like, I want her to step on me.
Systems that must be undone. How do we actively undo systems that have been in place for such a long time? We do that by organizing. We do that by recognizing our people power.
Hit the bell. You guys are fucking bullying
Our
me.
power in numbers.
I hit the
5,000
bell.
of us here can undo systems of oppression.
There you go.
5,000 of us can participate.
Shoo,
to
you
undo
literally
the
saw her
systems
and
that
said
have been
she
in place.
cute.
And I talk
Okay,
about
but I
this-
didn't tell her to
talk
step
about
on
this
me,
because those
alright?
systems continue to inform a lot of what we do.
Comment in
I'm
his
elected
live
in San
stream,
Marcos, and
no.
in San Marcos, we had 20,000
I'm not
members of the
doing that.
Klan march down the streets in the 1920s. And those ideologies of white supremacy continue to inform a lot of the policies that we have in place. They continue to inform our education system, our criminal justice system, and our healthcare system. And those macro ideologies continue to affect me at the very micro level.
This is going over
So
my
I'm
head.
elected.
I'm not
I
this
have a
deep.
master's degree in chemistry. I have a PhD. But despite of that,
Is that food even still good?
despite of
It is
that,
taco
I
salad.
still don't have access to health insurance.
It is always good.
My daughter, who's sitting right there, my Sophie, my 9-year-old, is part of the 630,000 children in Texas who are uninsured. And that's double the national average. These systems have to change. And we know that these systems in Texas continue to affect Black and brown children on a daily basis. So how do we undo systems of oppression? Senator Sanders always talks about the political revolution, but what is the political revolution? Us undoing those systems of oppression, actively dismantling and undoing systems of oppression.
She's
I
fucking
also
fired
have
up.
to take a $39,000 pay cut. And I mentioned this because I
The
took
whole
that pay cut to
chat.
serve my people,
She's
and I
like,
have
we
no
will take
regrets.
down the systems of oppression for the Black and brown. The chat is just like, okay, I
But
kind of
because
want her
of
to
that,
spit
I
on me
myself
though,
don't have health
and step
insurance.
on me.
I
I
myself
hate
am
this
behind 5
fucking
payments
community
in my
we have
mortgage.
built.
And I say
It's
this
just,
not because I'm ashamed, but because
you
it's the
are
reality
all
of a
just
lot of
terrible
people in this country.
people.
I'm behind 7 payments in my student
Salad
loans,
time.
and it shouldn't be the normal in this country. It should not be the normal in this country. So what I want you to do is lock arms with the person next to you. Lock arms with the person next to you.
Lock arms with me,
We're gonna
guys.
chant, not me, us. Not me, us.
Not me, us.
Not me, us.
Not me, us.
Not me,
Not me,
us.
Grab my hand.
And this is how the political revolution happens. Thank you all. Love you.
The absolute energy at these rallies, though, it's just like old school civil rights energy mixed with wholesome. There's always a lot of hold the person next to you's hand. It's like really, really wholesome. And then you switch to like a Pete Buttigieg rally. And it's like a funeral. Up here comes Bernard, that's his song. I think. Or Nina, who's coming out. Oh, it stopped. It stopped. What happened? Boomer moment. The music turned off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next president of the United States, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Confident. What happened? Bernie's like, I'm not ready yet. He turned on the music too early. There he is. There he is. There he is. I like how he always brings his wife out and like gives her a little kiss. Very cute.
Thank you.
I want him to step on me? No, we're not going there.
Thank you, San Antonio.
Yeah, apparently he won. I was too busy reading super chats, I guess. I was unaware.
Of the United States.
Oh my god. There's absolutely no Bernie thirst allowed in the chat.
You'll be very proud of her as first
Oh my god. Cursed community.
Based on what I have seen today in Texas, we were in El Paso, we're here now. Don't tell anybody. I don't want to get them nervous. We're going to win the Democratic primary in Texas.
Don't tell anybody, guys.
And you know, this is also important. The president gets very, very upset easily. So don't tell him that we're going to beat him here in Texas.
Bernard is just cocky tonight. He is
delighted to bring you some pretty good news. I think all of you know we won the popular vote in Iowa. We won the New Hampshire primary. And according to 3 networks in the AP, we have now won the Nevada caucus.
Someone said, is that Chipotle? It might be. So they didn't fuck around this time. Nothing got fucked around? Why am I still suspicious? Why am I still uncomfortable? Why do I feel like some fuckery is going to occur? Multi-rich. We are starting a multi-rich movement. Jane is thick. Guys, please.
In Nevada and in New Hampshire and in Iowa,
do not thirst after Bernie Sanders' wife. I beg of you. If I have to ask you of one thing, just one thing, leave Jane Sanders alone.
Grassroots movement like we do, which is another reason why we're going to win this election. matter, I want to thank our rank and file union members. I want to thank Make the Road and all of the grassroots organizations that helped us win there. We are going to win here in Texas.
Guys, check on your local wine moms. Check on your local Pete supporters. Check to see if they're doing okay tonight. Reach out to them. Offer some emotional support. Because this isn't a good time. They're not having a good time.
They are sick and tired of a corrupt administration. They are sick and tired of a president who is undermining American democracy.
And also the DNC undermining American democracy. Say it!
Who apparently has never read the Constitution
Say it.
In this country.
We know you want to say it.
The American people are sick and tired of a government which is based on greed.
The American people are sick and tired of a government.
They want an administration which is based on the principles of justice. Economic justice, social justice, racial justice.
Yes, Orange Man bad, everyone in the chat.
Environmental justice.
Yes, Carrot Man. Bernie Shofi.
Trump and his friends think they are going to win this election. They think they're going to win this election by dividing our people.
Guys, he's got to talk about Orange Man.
Their skin, or where they were born, or their religion, or their sexual orientation. We are going to win because we are doing exactly the opposite. We're bringing our people together.
Oh my god, I'm gonna ban some of you.
We are bringing our people together. Black and white and Latino, Native American, Asian American. Gay and straight.
What about the buys, Bernie?
We are bringing our people together around an agenda.
What about the buys?
For the working people.
I'm gonna write an entire op-ed. Bernie Sanders does not care about the bisexuals.
All over this country, workers are sick and tired of earning starvation wages. You can't make it on $9 an hour, or $11 an hour, or $12 an hour. We are going to raise.
Do you think Bernie even knows what bi is? Do you think Bernie knows, like, what pansexual is? Like, what? Do you think, like, he's. I'm sure he knows what bi is, but you know what I mean? Do you think he's, like, in tune with, like, the whole, like, the more modern social justice type things like this? Do you think he knows what like demisexual, pansexual is? Do you think he knows what non-binary is? I'm like really, I've never seen him talk about like stuff like that. I just wonder. I don't know if he does. I just imagine, he did an interview with like the New York Times, and they were like, what apps do you have on your phone? And he was just like, I think I have some news apps for the news. They're like, do you have like this or that? He's like, no, I don't know, sometimes I'll look at the news. Like, how is a man this old, this in touch, yet also not. It's just ridiculous. It's so funny. He has the most young support out of all of them.
We need more African American teachers.
And Pete Buttigieg
And because
is the youngest in the race, but he has the most old people support.
teachers do, we're going to fight to make sure that no teacher in America earns less than $60,000 a year.
Tinder. Bernie has Tinder on his phone.
And because we believe in education, we believe that all of our people, regardless of their income, are entitled to a higher education. And that is why we're going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. And we're going to cancel all student debt.
Yes, eat that salad. I'm sorry if I'm like a really ugly eater. I'm just really hungry. I forgot to eat food today.
By imposing a modest tax on Wall Street speculation.
Pete's crying. Pete's crying somewhere.
12 years ago, we bailed out the crooks
Wall
on
Street.
Wall Street. Now it is their turn to help the working families in this country. And together, we are going to end the international embarrassment of the United States of America, our great country, being the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people.
This is the theme now. We eat food, we watch Bernie win. Guys, this is the theme for the entire primary season. We get food, and we watch Bernie win the primary.
Healthcare is a human right, not a privilege.
Political mukbangs.
We are going to end the absurd situation in which we now are spending twice as much per person on health care as the people of any other country, yet 87 million of us are uninsured or underinsured. 30,000 die each year, and 500,000 people go bankrupt because of medically related debt.
My fiance, if you guys don't know, is Canadian. When he watches this part of like Bernie's speeches and stuff, he's just like, what is wrong with America?
The function of a rational,
Like, why can't you guys just get it together like we did? And I don't even have an answer. Because Venezuela, apparently. Why can't we have healthcare? Vuvuzela, you're gonna turn us into Venezuela.
And we are going to take on the greed and corruption of the pharmaceutical industry. Under our administration, the American people will not pay, in some cases, 10 times more for the same prescription drugs sold in Mexico, Canada, or in Europe. And when we talk about the major crises facing this country, it is a sad state of affairs when we have a president of the United States who believes that climate change is a hoax.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with Trump not even caring about climate change? That's ridiculous. That's the one thing Bloomberg has on Trump. Like, literally. The one thing is at least Bloomberg cares about climate change. That's the one thing. Everything else, Bloomberg might be worse.
Not right-wing extremism. And that is why together we are going to adopt the principles of the Green New Deal.
Yeah, Bloomberg cares. That's a good point. Bloomberg cares about climate change.
Our energy system away from fossil fuel to its efficiency and sustainability. brothers and sisters, this is a moral issue. We must make sure that the planet we leave our children and grandchildren is a planet that is healthy and habitable. And when we talk about issues that must be dealt with, we in fact are going to reform a broken and racist criminal justice system. We do not want to continue a situation where we have more people in jail than any other country, including China, 4 times our size. And the people in jail are disproportionately African American, Latino, and
Slavery is legal as long as you're in jail. That's true. It's a true thing. Disturbing.
In our young people, in jobs, in education. Not more jails and incarceration. That is why we are going to end private prisons and detention centers. That is why we are going to end the war on drugs.
Someone just said Jenna Marbles got canceled? I'm sorry, Bernie, you're gonna have to stop for a second. Jenna Marbles got canceled?
Let me ask you all a question. Let me ask you a serious question. How many people in this room tonight know somebody who was arrested for possession of marijuana? We are going to move forward to expunge the records of those arrested for possession of marijuana. And when we talk about broken...
Someone said Jenna Marbles shot someone. Swede. That didn't happen. Why did Jenna Marbles get canceled? Nobody's saying why.
I am the son of an immigrant.
She reviewed a product with her dogs and people said she abused her dogs. Oh, that sounds like reaching. That sounds like reaching. That sounds like the drama community is very bored. That's what that sounds like.
Together, we are going to end the demonization of the undocumented in this country. On our first day in
oh my God, guys.
executive order, we rescind all of Trump's racist immigration executive orders.
She tried a new dog seatbelt, and her dog didn't like it.
First day in office through executive order, we restore the
I'm sorry,
legal
Bernie.
status of the 1.8
I know what you're talking
million
about is
people
super important.
and their parents eligible for DACA.
But Jenna Marbles got canceled.
Office, we end a border
So,
policy which today allows
I've tried a harness on Ollie, and he fucking hated it. He freaked out. He was like trying to get out of it, so I took him out of it. Animals are like that. Sometimes you like try things with them, they don't like it, and then you just move on.
And together
That's not abuse.
what the American people have wanted to do for years, and that is pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path towards citizenship. Earlier today, Jane and I were in El Paso at the memorial at that terrible shooting in El Paso at the Walmart store there. And this is my promise to you. Our gun safety legislation, which the American people want because they are disgusted by the amount of gun violence and mass killings in this country.
The gun shit.
Our gun safety legislation will be written by the American people, not the NRA.
Fuck the NRA, but I hate the gun shit.
We will have universal background checks.
Bernie's the best one on the guns out of all of them, I think. But
And we will do what the American people
getting a pro-Second Amendment Democrat candidate, I think we're far from that because of all this shit happening.
You know, I am a United States Senator, and I am on the floor of the Senate very often listening to speeches from Republican conservatives. And as you know, their mantra, what they talk about all the time, is that they believe in small government. They believe in getting the government off the backs of the American people. And what I say
yeah,
tonight,
the gun thing is not like a serious big issue to me, but I know most of you, like in the chat and stuff, are probably the same. There's a lot of pro-gun left-wingers.
who have a right to control their own bodies, not the
I think most people. Fuck the Second Amendment. Why fuck the Second Amendment? Bitch, why?
And my promise to you is that I will never nominate anybody to the Supreme Court or the federal bench who is not 100% pro Roe v. Wade. We will codify Roe v. Wade, put it into law, and we will significantly expand funding for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
As a United States Senator,
Very mixed chat. Mixed chat tonight on the guns. We got some people who straight up fuck the Second Amendment, and then we got straight up don't touch my guns and my God.
Literally unlimited amounts of money. They have significant control over the media, over our economy, and over the political life of this country. But at the end of the day, the 1% is 1%.
Hello, based on
mathematics, but I do know that 99% is a heck of a lot bigger number than 1%. So what this campaign is about is understanding that if we do not allow Trump to divide us up by the color of our skin or where we were born or our religion or our sexual orientation, if we stand together, if we fight for an agenda that works for working families and the middle class, if we get involved in the political process,
this is my opinion on the guns.
If we stand for justice,
don't.
If we stand for compassion, if we understand that
has Bernard shown his feet yet? The man is going off about racial justice, about changing the world and the 1% and how we need to take the power back. And the fucking chat is asking if Bernie has shown his feet yet.
This country and create a government and an economy that works for all of us, not wealthy candidates. Thank you all very much.
This fucking community. Oh my god. Okay guys, so Bernie won Nevada. I'm so sorry that this stream was a mess. The mods from my Patreon and Discord will be added next time. You guys will be added as mods. And I will figure this shit out. I will label all my windows. This will never happen again. No promises, but I'm gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. So yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. So far, so good. No promises though. Yeah. So this was fun. Thanks, guys. Thank you a lot. I guess I will read the last super chats. Taking it to the street. Not even gonna try. Okay. Let's read the last super chats. And then... Okay. Okay. Resent for $5 says, Plastic Beach better than Demon Days. I like Demon Days better than Plastic Beach, but that also might just be because Demon Days was the first album I discovered when I discovered them. Demon Days was a new album, and so I have like nostalgia for it, but Plastic Beach is really good. Aiden for 50 sex. Company worth billions can give money to politicians, but 5 people can't give like $30. Red Star Undead for $5. It's good night from the UK. Jeremy Corbyn lost in our election. Donate this money to make sure it doesn't happen to Sanders. Yeah, we don't have Brexit though. We don't have an equivalent, and Brexit was kind of like a nonpartisan or bipartisan issue. And Jeremy Corbyn kind of flopped on the Brexit thing, so I think that's why that happened. Probably a big reason why that happened. People were really into Brexit. Don't ask me about Brexit. I can barely keep up with my own country's politics. I don't know what my opinion on Brexit is. If everybody wanted it, then yes, they should have it. They should break away. Hey June, big fan, glad to see an anti-PC lefty. Thank you, there are many of us. There are many, many of us. And it's nice that it's more of a thing, because I remember like 5 years ago, I felt like the only idiot being like, hey, this shit is really annoying, but I am left-wing. What's going on? And now it's like more like, hey, I'm left-wing too, and this dumb shit annoys me too. It's like finally found like a little community. Callum Beatson for $2 says, love Bernie, but I wish he supported nuclear power. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's one difference between Tulsi and him. I think Tulsi supports nuclear and Bernie doesn't. I think. Yeah, there's a few things I don't agree with Bernie on. I think that's one of them. There's a lot of fear-mongering about nuclear. Dem Mighty Boosh for $20. Love your content. Also, shout out to my fiance Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Blue for $2. Elect Bernie President of the United Kingdom. Bernie for President of the World. Cubs fan for $10. Comment in his live stream. No, I'm not doing that. Axel for 119 sec. Greetings from Sweden. We're rooting for Bernie. Hope you have seen the Killer Mike speech. Yes, I love Killer Mike's speech. I love Killer Mike in general. Run the Jewels. One of my favorite rap groups ever. Good Dog, really good dog for $5.49. I'm really glad that the DNC takes their time with Nevada. Democracy first. Xylo for $5. Step on me, Bernie. No, this is illegal. This is illegal. Pedestrian for $2. Much love to my fellow Bernard brethren. Love ya. Same to you. Fabrication Self, $5. Who was that hype girl that opened for Senpai? I agree. That whites are evil and must be trampled by her bare foot. I myself am particularly bad. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna ban all of you. Gary Christensen for $5. Is this thing working? Why won't you give my money to June? I just want June to have my money. Yes, it worked. Thank you. David Hibbs for $2. We love the brainlet in this house. Thank you. Gary Christensen for $20. Thank you. Oh, hey, it worked. Okay, here's some more money. By the way, you said Nevada wrong, but that's okay. Thank you. I don't know how I'm saying Nevada wrong. And unless I literally hear someone pronounce it right, I think you're all trolling me. Lunchbox, thank you very much for the $2. Grambo First Blood, $2. I wonder if Bernie has ever S'd a D? What's S'd a D? Oh! S'd a D. I'm going to delete this entire channel. The community I have fostered. They're right. See, this is what they mean when they say Bernie bros are toxic. This is what they mean. The feet pics, trample me, I've been a bad white man. Bernie toes, has Bernie ever sucked a D? He didn't ask for this. Daniel G. Coca, $5. Here's 5-spot Trump 2020, thank you. Mike Bloomberg again. Political slumber party with June. Yeah. I have to go to my Discord chat soon. So I'll see some of you there, actually. Daniel Corca, $2. Canada's a myth, change my brainwaves. Brad S. for $10. June's taco salad lasted longer than Beto's campaign. Yep. Press F for Beto's campaign. Alexander the Greatish for $5. She was testing out a new harness she was sent. The harness was bad and hurt the dogs a bit. She took it off and people flipped. That's why Jenna Marbles is canceled? Jesus Christ. The woman is the most wholesome YouTuber on this site. Taylor Peckin for $15. I miss Tulsi, but go Bernie. Yeah, what the media did to Tulsi, what Hillary did, what all these assholes did, I will never forgive them. They are now in my, what is it? Death notes. I'm just kidding. But seriously, it really sucks. She didn't deserve that. Joe Bob for $5. We need the Second Amendment to overthrow the corporate oligarchy. Yeah, it seems like it's really coming to that with fucking Bloomberg buying himself into the election. Scary. Someone like Bloomberg coming into power and then being like, yeah, we should take all the guns away. Also, people making fun of me online, not a good thing. We should probably do something about that. We should probably do something about people making fun of me online. Have you guys seen that? Bloomberg's like obsessed with the Bernie bro narrative, but all his examples are like people sending memes to him. And then the ones that are threats, he's edited. So they look like worse threats and not jokes. Just some bullshit. There's something scary about an authoritarian like that being like wagging their finger about people on the internet having free speech. Gregory Jones, wow, for $111. Thank you very much. You did not need to do that, but I appreciate it. Thank you. For a certain cake, call me a romantic. Thank you very much, Gregory. I will remember that. When we get the cake, when we get all that shit, I will be like, someone on a super chat helped me pay for that. Thank you very much. Christopher Service for $2. Do I have to read this? Dicks out for Bernie. I hope nobody in Bernie's campaign or Bernie himself ever comes across this cursed land. Gifapolis for $2. How do you feel about AOC's involvement with Bernie? I like AOC. I think she needs more experience. She says a lot of things that make me cringe. But overall, just the fact that she fought the establishment and won and is a really powerful voice when it comes to that, how she's literally getting more donations while the DNC is bankrupt and she's like holding out the donations from them. That is great. We love to see that. So again, I think AOC just needs to find her footing in the political world, I think. That's my opinion. Drax the Warlock Titan for $5. Mispronounce as many states as you can off the top of your head. No, I'm not doing that. I already did a video about that. It's just a disaster. Christopher Cervix for $2. Dicks out for Bernie. Great. Awesome. Thanks. We love it. Nup Tup for $2. Please don't abandon us. Most of us are good bros. Yeah. Blue for $2. Greece lost 45 GDP because of EU austerity. Nuke the EU. CH for $5. Press F to S a D. God, guys. Stop. Matthew McAfee for $5. Brit here. Being independent may be good for the party in charge, the Conservatives, and bad and only care for the rich and not working class people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much of a say in the UK stuff. Daniel Marston for $3. Would you debate Styx with Tim Pool as moderator? Fuck no, I am a terrible debater. I can barely speak on a live stream. I can't think on my feet to save my life. No. I would lose every debate I am ever in just because I am that bad. Even if I knew everything on the topic. It's just no, I would do terrible. Jack Clark for $1, thank you very much. Sky for $2. What about the asexuals, Bernie? Yeah, he said the gays and the straights. He's canceled. Bernie is canceled. Christ724 for $10. Hi, this is Mike Bloomberg. I bought this account from a citizen. I recognize bisex. I also support beers, steers, and queers. Vote for me in Texas. Okay, thank you, Mike Bloomberg. Alright, and we will leave it at that. Thanks, guys, for watching this disaster. Again, I promise if I do a stream, which I will, again on this channel, everything will be organized. Plus, I'll have all my mods from Discord and stuff all set up. So if you're from there, you will be set up as a mod. And it will be a grand old time. Thanks for watching this train wreck. And vote for Bernard. Bye.